There we go. What's happening, YouTube? Appreciate y'all joining us. About to let the folks in over here into Sunday dinner. I appreciate y'all as usual. Let's have some great conversation. Make sure that you're participating and engaging as well. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sunday dinner. I appreciate y'all being here as usual. There we go. Let me get my meeting set so I can let everybody in automatically. Hey, do me a favor and drop the sign up link, right? Drop Sunday dinner, share it with a friend and family inside of your text threads, and let's continue to grow and learn, grow and develop this space so that we can continue to have these wonderful conversations. Hey, how y'all doing today? All right. Hopefully everyone is enjoying their Memorial Day weekend. I am just getting my Sunday dinner. I'm getting you the link here, Sunday dinner. There we go. Y'all know how it go. Last second, grandma got me doing chores right before y'all show up. Y'all don't be coming early enough. Nobody want to help me with the work. I got to do all the heavy lifting around here. That's all right. That's all right. Grandma said y'all are welcome. And she'll definitely appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you as well. So let me kick off with my opening videos and then we'll dive into our discussion today. We got a pretty good one on hand for you. I mean, as much as I do this, you would think I would know where everything is at, right? Like I'm literally looking around like, where's my share link? All right, it's one of them weekends, y'all. All right, here we go.
Urban intellectuals.
Open your eyes.
Urban intellectuals. Yeah. Check. In a world that's unjust, I'm screaming, we love us. Equipped with knowledge, we are dangerous. In a world that's unjust, I'm screaming, we love us. Equipped with knowledge, we are dangerous. Yo, you got the power in the palm of your hands. I mean, literally, 52 flashcards, all about black history. They focus on success and less about miseries. Information is the missing piece. Are you familiar with Black Wall Street or the Haitian Revolution? How about Angela Davis or Huey Newton? Mark Dean helped create IBM. Richard Wright was a poet. Have you ever heard of him? Get familiar with your culture. Women like Evelyn Granville probably paid the way for Oprah. Trying to be fly like Miss Bessie Coleman or like James Baldwin. I could be a spokesman. Man, the power of the black fist. What you know about the 68 Olympics? Dick Gregory, yeah, he kept it realer than most. Dr. King was instilling the hope. Let's keep it going.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes and welcome to Sunday dinner. I like to call that our theme song, right? So we are going to continue to push that. But here's an opening to Sunday dinner. That's the
Urban intellectual.
These conversations are important. These conversations are important, and the history is critical. The experiences are important because you start to understand the weight of expectation. I'll say that the weight of expectation on us as a people in the community. We're having important conversations just like that and many more at Sunday dinner. You got your invitation. Conversations for the soul. This is what we're doing every Sunday here at Urban Intellectuals. My name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals, and I'm your host, inviting you to Grandma's table at Sunday's dinner. You remember going to Grandma's house, don't you? The nostalgia of going to grandma's house, right? If y'all went to grandma's house, and you better act right when you get up in grandma's house, right? So we are here at grandma's house reconvening the family, right? I think this is part of where we've gone astray, right? As a community, we've lost connection with our family structures. So rather than whine about it and cry about it, let's come together and talk about it. And start to reconnect our community members who are ready, willing, and able, right, to have these discussions, to engage in learning and developing together and moving the needle, right, on ourselves, our families, our communities, and eventually the diaspora. Down in the comments, let's just have a little bit of fun. Drop your favorite dish that you remember going to grandma's house. Somebody do me a favor and drop sweet potato pie down there in the comments. Thank you. I appreciate you. Listen, we feel like the company that has brought you Black history and culture with our Black History flashcards, our educational tools, our courses, and even our travel experiences is perfectly positioned to have this conversation. That's why we're doing it at Sunday dinner. This is your official invite. Go ahead and click the link and register. Look, Grandma already been looking for you and asking about you. I ain't want to say nothing, but you're already here. Click the link, register. See you at Sunday dinner. I love it. All right, welcome to Sunday dinner, everybody. Let's have us a good conversation today. I see y'all having fun with me down in the comments. That is our running theme, right? Around here at Sunday dinner, we're going to Grandma's house, right? Everybody remembers that opportunity to go and commune with the family. And have these important discussions. And we're going to continue to do that virtually. Although no soul food for the belly, we're having soulful conversations for the soul and the community. So we're doing that every Sunday at Sunday dinner, right? So every Sunday is a little bit different. The conversations evolve. The conversations start one place and we might end up in a totally different place, but that's all right. This is your opportunity to be heard, right? Most of the time you come into these environments, I know with me, I'm usually talking and running my mouth, right? But the idea here is to open up the microphone for the community to be heard on topics that are important to us, our now and our future. So we're doing that at Sunday dinner, right? I see chicken and dumplings. All right, Doc. Hello, hey, how you doing, Jimmy? Appreciate you joining us. Red velvet cake. Ooh, I could use some of that right now. We probably gonna get it right now. I mean, this weekend, right? Memorial Day. We're gonna get a lot. Hopefully, y'all are getting together with some friends and family and are doing some stuff. I am here in outside of Detroit, Michigan, at my dad's house. My mama's gone, right? Grandma's gone out of the family, but that's all right. Her energy and spirit still lives on. Peach cobbler, I see that twice on there. All right. Fried chicken, homemade biscuits, sweet potato pie. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's always my favorite. That just makes me smile. Jarman says stuffing. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Roberta. Hey, Roberta, how you doing? Grandma's collard greens. I love that. Mm. Yeah, y'all definitely making me hungry. Definitely good conversation. Hey, do me a favor down in the oh, how are you, Alicia? Oh, wow. I'm actually in Inkster, Michigan. We're from Inkster, so that's where I am hanging out right now. I was thinking about going downtown Detroit actually a little bit later after this to go hang out and meet up with some friends. Old-fashioned banana pudding. Ooh, I love that. Hey, Angela, how you doing? Come on into the conversation. Let's get it in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Did you ask me something?
Oh, I just saw your hand up. I thought you had something to add. So while you're here, let
Oh,
me ask you then, what's your favorite dish that you used to go to grandma's house and eat, or your mom's house, or your family's home? How about
um, my grandmother used to make a peach cobbler with mulberries, and the cousins, we all had to go to the garden to pick the blueberry or the mulberries off the tree. She already had the peaches, but we had to do the mulberry picking, and it was a trip because it was a tree. I mean, a tree. You got to get up in a tree, get a ladder, and all that. But anyway, it was the best. I
that? I
will
love
never
it.
forget. I haven't figured out how to make it because there's no mulberries.
Ah, okay.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I'm in Texas.
Kalamazoo, all right. And Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? Is this your first time for Sunday dinner? Have you been here before?
No,
First time?
yeah, first time.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And you jumped
Oh,
on the microphone, so we definitely appreciate that.
what's that?
I said, and you commented, you participated, so I
Oh
appreciate that.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out all of these icons down here. I'm just pushing and seeing what happens.
I like it. I like it. Well, if you push the one and raise the hand, then I'm gonna invite you to come on into the conversation.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, I'll be careful.
Nah, don't be careful. Jump on in the discussion. That's what we are here for, to have the conversation. As I usually try to frame it, like this is think like old school AM radio, right? Talk radio, where you could call in and be heard, and they hit you with the phone number. You call in and you chime in to the discussion. So we're doing that in 2025, right, with our Zoom setup here. But so this is about having an open discussion and an open conversation. Hey, everybody, if this is your first time, give me a one in the comments and give me a two in the comments if you've been here before. Y'all know, give me a 22 in the comments if you've been here uh, a lot of times. But I definitely always appreciate y'all coming and coming back, right? We're definitely going to have 52, 222. I love it. Shout out to all of our returning people. We definitely appreciate y'all. Shout out to the new people that are showing up. We definitely appreciate y'all coming and trusting us to spend a Sunday with us. So, yeah, come on back. Definitely come back, right? Hopefully you will enjoy it. Hopefully, y'all, I won't run you away with my humor. Y'all, I think I'm funny, right? So, Angela, please just understand. I'm a wannabe comedian. Nah, just kidding.
That's all right.
I'm definitely a wannabe comedian, but it's
What?
always fun. We're just trying to keep a. I mean, sometimes the conversation is serious. It just kind of depends on what the topics are. Sometimes it's lighthearted and fun, but we definitely try to enjoy ourselves, enlighten one another,
Well,
and be
it's
heard for sure.
it's great. I have all of the cards. I got them a while ago. The new ones, I don't know about them, but I have the cards. You know, the
I love it.
urban intellectual look like. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, okay, I want to be a part of that. So I'm figuring it out,
Figuring it
listening.
out. I love it. I
Hmm.
love it. Well, thank you for joining us. We're gonna have fun and enjoy ourselves. And as you can see, you're welcome to join the conversation, right? This is if I had it my way, I wouldn't talk so much, right? At least today. All right, I ain't gonna lie to y'all and act
Yeah, I
like
was gonna
Freddie
say.
don't be talking, but at least today, my goal is to try to incite conversation and get you to join and be heard. That is definitely the aim of what's going on. And today, we are talking about living abroad, escaping, expanding, or evolving. What is it? Living abroad. We're living abroad while black, right? So that's really kind of the onus of that conversation. David, hey, slow down, man. He say cap. I'm out here. He know. I like to run my mouth, right? But this is definitely about getting y'all involved. Brother, you got to agree that I definitely tried to get you involved in the discussions and in the conversations. Before we dive into the conversation, let me.
Always.
Who is that? Come on in.
That was me, Roberta. You always try to get us involved.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Roberta.
You know, the ancient of days crew.
Yes.
That's what I said instead of 20 plus. I'm the ancient of days crew.
I like it. I like it. Um, I am definitely gonna bring up. We're definitely gonna try to incite some conversation, right? So I want to. Here are the. Okay. Oh, if you're new here, get you a notepad, right? I guess we're gonna have to start having official rules, right? Like you're gonna want to have a notepad next to you because if you decide to chime into the conversation and you're the third or fourth hand up, the conversation might wiggle and evolve, right? And it might kind of move away from exactly what you wanted to have the conversation about. And it's totally fine to come back and recenter it around your discussions. But in order to keep that thought, I just want you to be able to write it down, right? And as the things go on, you will start to understand why I made that comment. Our veterans know they got their notepads and is definitely keeping up with the discussions as they go along. I want you to be aware of a couple of things. We always got something going on here at Urban Intellectuals. Um, we got a Juneteenth event coming up for Juneteenth next month. You're going to start seeing emails going out about that. I got a crazy lineup, an impressive lineup of people to come and educate us. This Juneteenth is going to be a wonderful discussion. For those of y'all that can join us, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So I definitely want to urge you to be there for that. You're going to start seeing the emails maybe next week, maybe the week after. I'm not really sure. I don't send out any of that. I know what we got coming, and I'm just working on my piece of that. I'm pushing our social network. I am really trying to ramp this thing up. I think we are ready to. I think we are ready. Sankofa. I think we are ready because, like, y'all know I'm always transparent. I try to be transparent. Karen's, if you owe me about recording. I'm streaming to YouTube, by the way, so everything is recorded over there, so we can always download it. So we're good on that. Thank you, Karen, for always being on me about the recordings. Um, but our social network is something that's really important to, I think to the community, but I think really what we're trying to achieve here at Urban Intellectuals, we want to have conversations that we control. We want to have conversations that are, that you can't filter, that we can't be censored, right? So I'm always tiptoeing on social media because we playing in somebody else's sandbox. And sometimes, either you build your own or you got to comply, right? You can cry and whine about it, but you have to comply. So, in order to continue to have authentic conversations that we need and being able to reach y'all, we have developed our own social network. I think it's ready. I think it's solid now. We're not worried about getting hacked or anything like that. We're not worried about it crashing and all of that stuff. We have 376 people over there right now. I'm hoping to get that number to 500 pretty soon. So that's going to hear me talking about this a lot more. In fact, Sankofa Universe is going to sponsor our Juneteenth event because as we're advertising and pushing, we're going to really start ramping this thing up. So I would definitely appreciate a join over there. Oh, and right now, I say this sheepishly. We have a mobile app, a Urban Intellectuals mobile app. For those of you that are on iPhone, if you go to the App Store, you can download our app, but do that with caution. I want you to know that that's still got some work to do, right? So we're still working that out, right? So go look at it. You're gonna be like, just bear with me, right? Just hold on, right? Kind of like I said, I'm sheepishly telling you that it's even available, but it is, and we're just trying to get it connected correctly. So you'll see us upgrading that. The Android version, that was my next comment, is I'm working on the paperwork to certify that I actually own the company. Even though we were like they had some compliance stuff that we have to do. So I'm just going through. They keep rejecting my paperwork. It's like they ask me, "Hey, show me that you're in good standing in the state of Illinois to do business." I send them the good standing stuff. They're like, "Nah, that ain't what we want." Oh, send me a copy. You got anything trademark? Send me a copy of your trademark. Oh, that's not gonna work either. I'm like, well, why you keep asking me for this stuff? So I'm just jumping through the hoops, right? But here we go again. That if you don't have ownership, you either got to dance or walk away, right? So Android is coming. We working on it. Say what I love the beta testing. Oh, you're fine. Go please download it then. But just remember I told you. It's like the back, it's like the junk room, right? Y'all had a junk room in your house. Like it's just right now, it's there. Technically, we got one, but it's like we're not really pushing it. But we're trying to fully integrate the app, the social network in there. So we're just really kind of working through that. Hey, brother Johnny, come on in the discussion. What you got to say? Good.
Hey now, what's up? What's up now? How's everybody? It's
Good,
good.
good.
Good. Glad to be here again. Briefly, I'm gonna check out in a minute because I got to go somewhere and then I'm gonna get in the car. But I just wanted to share this one little quick thing that just really inspired me this week. It was just a one line, a sentence. Limitations live in your thoughts.
Hmm.
Action, possibilities live in your actions. And that spoke to me. And it really lit a fire under me because I know that a lot of times I limit myself in my mind, you know. And so it just really, like I say, lit a fire under me this week to just get busy with some stuff that I've been procrastinating on.
Mm.
So hopefully this limitations live in your thoughts, possibilities live in your actions. Maybe it will inspire somebody else who just heard it.
I
So that's
love
why
it.
I just wanted to drop that in. Peace
Thank
out.
you. No, thank you for that. And it's poignant going into the conversation about living abroad, right? Because I know a lot of us in our heads, I ain't gonna speak for you, but I know a lot of us in our heads are thinking, oh, yeah, it'd be nice, but I don't think I can do that. That ain't really for me. That's for somebody else. So you're limiting yourself. I mean, because if you're not gonna think about it, you're not gonna research, you're not gonna dig in, then it's definitely not gonna become a reality for you. And then I love that. Limitations lives in your thoughts, possibilities lives in reality, something like that. I'm gonna paraphrase it already. He told me 12 seconds ago. Um, but yeah, I love that. And then even when we're talking about this conversation of living abroad, I'm gonna give y'all a couple of the questions so we can start down that path. Because when I tell people I'm gonna move to Africa, they like, oh man, what you gonna do and this and that. I'm like, brother, they got planes. I can come back. Like, what? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I ain't say I'm like gone forever and flip the country over and keep my citizenship. I'm done with y'all, right? I was like, man, I'm just gonna buy something somewhere else, right? And go hang out. Anyway, brother David, come on in, good sir. What you got to say?
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you took the mute off. But peace. Yeah, just kind of you had said something earlier, and I guess it does tie into the topic as far as moving abroad. But when you had mentioned the need to, you got to watch your what you say because you're using other people's apps. I just paraphrased what you said,
Yeah.
but it made me think about um, what uh, the leader of Libya um, tried to do for our community decades ago. He tried to give the minister $1 billion,
Right.
and America blocked it. And what the minister wanted to do with that $1 billion was to wipe out the debt of all the Black organizations that was doing the work in the community so that they can do the work without, because once you take money from people, now, they tie your hands
Mhm.
and direct you on who you could be friends with and what you could do and all of that. And so, it's very important to be free from that type of censorship. And so what you said earlier had made me think about that. And I hadn't really uh, fully considered the consequences of us not getting that $1 billion. Um, like, just think about that for a second. There was $1 billion that was being offered to help us in our plight because of what others saw us going through. And it was blocked by the nation that refuses to do right by us.
Mm.
I think we need to really weigh that because it says a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it does. That says a whole lot, right? That says a whole lot. But really, who's controlling us, right? Like, yeah, you gonna control somebody's gift, right? I mean, the president just took a plane, right? The U.S. president just accepted a plane from what is it? One of the Saudi princes or somebody over there, right? Giving it away and pretending like this isn't bribery at the highest level, but a natural citizen of the country can't accept the gift because you don't like how the things that they do or the things that they say, right? We still use Alexa Urban Intellectual Short Bites. Oh, I love that. Hey, Charmion, thank you for that. Man, y'all, we got so much going on here at Urban Intellectuals. It trips me out. Like, I forget what we got going on. But if you have the Alexa device, you can tell Alexa, say Alexa, open Urban Intellectuals. And there's a surprise for you on the other end of that. How about that? Thank you for that, Charmian. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, but I mean, we gotta. I mean, this is why I'm always talking about Garvey or the minister or any of those things because we got to start owning our conversations and owning our opportunities, which is why I love what's happening in Africa right now. If you're not following Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and like what is going on in this Sahel alliance, it is amazing. But now they are starting to form their own bank and they're going to start lending to other African nations directly, y'all. This is revolutionary. I'm so excited about what's happening over there. It's wow. Hey, P3, what says you? What says you? How about that?
First of all, peace and respect to the elders. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it was an elder that brought it to my attention. You just said something regarding banking, right? So it brings up a thought process, right? So when you return to how Western banking was originally established, you have an overarching element, which is the Holy Roman Empire, and you have the local portion of that, right? Okay. And these royal families of Europe, to participate in the Crusades, all they had to do is pack their son or their daughter and their arms into a boat or into a caravan and head to Jerusalem and kill as many people and take as many stuff as you can on the way there. This is the thing. When they got there, they received credit because of their letter from their king or queen, because of the letter from the royal family. We're here to participate in the Crusades. This is what we require. So we're moving into the future, and the system is a local system. Yes, it has you have these holding companies that are loyal to the Vatican that lend money to governments and the royal families of Europe, but you also have the local aspect. So the local aspect unfolds in the manner of these municipal bonds. These municipal bonds are built on social security cards, birth certificates, blah, blah, blah. So those municipal bonds are transmigrated or transformed into securities that are exchanged on the Nikkei, the Dow, the S&P 500. So we need to have a real discussion about banking. Yes, not only Western banking mechanisms, but Eastern banking mechanisms, because the three largest emerging global economies on the face of planet Earth, China, India, and Africa. This is why the United States government and Western banking institutions are always trying to harass and harangue the Chinese into coming into the Western framework. So yes, Burkina Faso, yes, Ibrahim Traore, right? He understands. We now understand how the business is being conducted. I didn't learn banking from my parents. I spent 18 years in prison in a law library trying to understand what is all of this. Mm-hmm. And what we're looking at is we're looking at a system of credits based on your activity, based on their hostility to the enemies of the so-called Holy Roman Empire. This is what we're doing. This is why they don't want us involved in banking. They don't want us to understand the way that they're trafficking in, for example, your birth certificate, your social security number. Who are you really? And who do they think you are? This is how business is being done. So it's being done in our face, right under our noses. But we have not been educated. My parents could not teach me what the hell is this thing I'm looking at. To wage war with that thing, we have to either do our banking with the Chinese, or we have to do, as you said, we have to capitulate. We have whatever Elon says, that's what we have to go for, because these are the only service providers available. Because the service providers from our community, those who wish to be service providers, do not have the ready available capital to set up these kinds of institutions. So for this move to be happening in Africa, our liberation here in the United States will be determined by these things. What access do we have to the capital that we need to build, to the financing we need to build our military element, to build our schools, to build our hospitals? 50 years of rap music. No viable institutions built for and by Black folks virtually even exist. And we got to suck on that. And we got to deal with that. We got to tackle that. So, this is something that we also need to teach the children. Because for me to learn it when I'm in prison at 25, 30, and I got another 20 years to do, how is that going to help? There's a lot of brothers in there with quality information. We need to make them a part of this conversation because they are the ones that are capable. They have the voice to speak to our young people. Hey, if you're going to carry guns, bro, join this military. Join the Black Panther Party. If you need to chop somebody down, we got enemies that need to be chopped down, bro. So we have to do it from a whole perspective. Burkina Faso, they're not sitting around waiting for nothing. If you need to tote a gun, if you want to learn how to fight, we need to join these brothers to push the line. And this is how you go about it. We have to have our own everything. So, peace, one.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Brother came in hot. We on fire today. Let's go diving into the conversation. I love it. So as y'all see, it's just a free flowing conversation, right? I got a list, I got an outline, but we're gonna have conversations based on what someone else has said. We can follow up and follow through like that, just like being around the dining room table, right? Or being in the family room or in the basement or in the backyard, having the discussions with the cousins. We're just doing that online now. So I love that, but he's absolutely right, right? Like we got to start getting this global unity thing together, which is, if you've been to some of our information sessions about traveling to Africa with us, right? If you don't know, we go to Africa, and we travel to African diaspora because we're actually opening up Brazil as well later this year. But we're having those discussions because you got to go to the continent, go have the experience so that you can see that somebody's been lying to you about one, what's going on over there, two, about how they feel about us, and three, the relationship that we need to cultivate between one another so that we can start supporting brothers and sisters like Ibrahim Traore and the people that we think are doing it correctly, right? Because we're all in this together. This enemy of ours is a global one, and this lackadaisical nature that some of us have, thinking that we're just going to blend our way into this society and get away, and everything is going to be okay, right? I don't know about that. Sister Georgia, there are some people in the comments are asking you about where did you live when you stayed overseas? And I would love if you, at some point, at least today, that you raise your hand and like we can have that conversation about your experience. But I want to throw a couple of questions out there in general, and you feel free to respond to anything that you've heard so far, or the questions that I bring up. Oh, Sister Georgia is here. Hey, how you doing? Come
Yes.
on into the
Hi
discussion.
there. I was fortunate enough to work for a government contractor, which allowed me to live overseas and not be military. Okay, I was in a private company, so um, they had quite a number of contracts with the federal government attached to the State Department and the U.S. Embassy, and so of course you had to have a top secret clearance to even get over there. And so I lived over in a little town called Zonhoven, Belgium, because we were working on contracts in the I think they call it eastern part of Europe, where our responsibility was to redo American embassies throughout Europe. Okay. Now I didn't do any of that, of course. I was on the admin side, so I wasn't out there refurbishing embassies, anything like that. That was not me.
Okay. I thought you had a set of skills. I was
That
like,
was
sis,
not me. But the interesting thing about it was there is so much propaganda, and I lived there. What was it? 93, 94, 95, that time frame. And there was so much propaganda out there about Black people. And I'll give you one example. I had to come home because unfortunately my mom passed away during the time that I was over there. So I came back home. And of course, whenever you come home and you're around family, you take all these pictures. So I go back and I'm showing these pictures to the folks over there and they go, "You live there?" I was like, "Yeah." "You live there?" "Yeah." And when they asked the third time, "You live there, that's your home?" I was like, "Yes." I said, "Oh, you've heard all the propaganda. You believe that all Black people live in the ghetto. This is the only thing that they have been teaching you." I said, "That is not the case." And I said, on top of that, where I live might be nice. I said, but I have plenty of friends that live in far nicer places than I do. And their homes are much bigger, much nicer and everything. But they were amazed. And that just lets you know that this nation indoctrinates not just us, but they indoctrinate the world with lies about who we are and what we are doing here. And it just kind of blew my mind because, of course, I was a bit younger than I am now. A little bit younger than I am
Just a
now.
little, just a little.
But it was really interesting. The town, they don't call them towns. They were more or less villages, and they were more or less self-contained. The interesting thing is, I have always been a very tiny person. And so I get overseas and I'm living in Belgium. And what is Belgium famous for? Their beer, their chocolate. They got like 80 beers on tap.
Yeah, that sounds like I might need to go visit.
and and their teas and wines. And while I was over there, I went from, I think I was when I left, I was like 120 pounds. When I came back, I was over 160. Because when you sit down at what they call a cafe, it's a cafe. You go in and you order a sandwich or whatever, but when you order tea or coffee, they bring you a cookie or they bring you chocolate every time. And I didn't realize it. And I was literally eating that chocolate every time I sat down for tea. And if I had a glass of wine from time to time, that also allowed you to grow faster. So I was like, oh my God. I came back home and my kids was funny. My daughter got on the phone because she was living in Virginia Beach and my son was living in New York. She goes, "You won't believe Mama. She's big." That's how much of a difference it was. So it was a really quaint place to live. I did sing in the European choir. I sang in the Dutch choir, and I sang in 3 languages. I think it was. I sang Dutch, Italian, German, and that's another interesting thing. Because I sang in that choir, they immediately. This is how quickly Europeans think, and this is how quickly they think. Just like that, we have now an international choir. Why? Because an American is singing in our local village choir. And just like that, they changed that name so fast. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's really interesting how they interact. But I'm telling you that driving with the Autobahn, that you go as fast as you want. And because gas prices was much higher over there than here, they use every inch of the road, the sidewalk, and everything. They almost never stopped their car unless it was a true red light. So you had to get used to navigating in moving traffic all the time. So there was really interesting things that I found there. And the other interesting thing was French fries. You had to have a license to sell French fries. They called them tours, and you could not sell them in your restaurants and things like that at this time. Now, what they've done since I've left, I don't know. Right. But at the time, you had to have what they call a friture truck that looks like what we call those the little trucks that we have, food trucks that we have. Well, over there, it was like a friture. And those were the places that sold French fries. So those are the things that I can think of off the top of my head right now. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me questions.
Yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate you sharing and putting, kind of a different spin on it because I gotta be honest, when I was starting to think about talking about living abroad, Europe never even popped in my mind. I didn't even think about it. Like it's just like like obviously maybe not obviously, but you can tell where I'm going. I'm going to Africa, right?
Right.
So I just,
It
I'm
wasn't
just
an
thinking
option.
I'm like, I got tunnel vision on Africa, right? I was like, oh yeah, you can move somewhere else. That is possible, right? Wait, here's a quick question for you. Would you go back? Would you do it again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did not have the nastiness over there. Now that didn't mean I didn't bump into um somebody. I think I may have bumped into two people the whole entire time I was over there, compared to, the nastiness that you get over here from American white people. But over there, they had a tendency to be more relatable, and partly because a lot of people that were there were from what's the other African nation over there close to Europe? I can't think of it right now.
Like
But
North
they,
Africa?
hmm?
North Africa?
No, it's North Africa, I think, but it's a country that a lot of people came over from that particular
From that area.
country, and the other thing, of course, is they speak a lot of languages. Europeans speak a lot of languages, and so the reason why I would probably want to go back, and it could be Africa, it could be another nation, is because when you're overseas, they do not tie themselves to one language, and that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed is even if they didn't speak every word in the language, they could communicate with almost anybody that came there, and that was
Yeah.
nice. Mm-hmm.
That's always fascinating when you meet,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just Europe. It's like anywhere you go, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody else speak multiple languages, right? And like we're over here, like you need to speak American. You know how Americans are. These folks are wild. I dated this girl in college, and she spoke 7 or 8 languages, and that just absolutely blew my mind.
Right.
'Cause I'm a marginal C English student, so I barely got this thing down. And like you speaking 7, 8 languages, it was always mind blowing. But yeah, as you travel more and more, that's just that's like the norm.
Right.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's beautiful. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. I definitely
Somebody's got their
appreciate.
hand up. I don't know if she
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
to
I'm
ask
coming
a
to
question.
Angela next. Yeah. Come
Mm-hmm.
on, get me together, Miss Georgia. Get me right now. All right, how you doing, Miss Angela? Come on back into the convo.
I want to appreciate the comments about being overseas, and I appreciate the comments about by the young gentleman. I don't see his little icon there anymore, but I wanted to share that years ago I had the wonderful opportunity to travel in Europe, and I was young, and it was decades ago, and my mother wanted to take me on a art tour, European art tour. So I'm like high school senior, almost, well, yeah, almost finished with high school. And I go to, she takes me to this place where everything is all about the art. I mean, I saw, uh, the Michelangelo's painting in the Sistine Chapel, and I sat in the Colosseum, and I saw the statue of David. I mean, I saw these beautiful things that were not a part of my life at all. So, if I hadn't been there, I would have thought it was a dream or somebody was lying or whatever. And I thought I had a good experience. I felt that the people were, oh dear, I'm sorry. The people were uh, beyond cordial. They would speak, especially if you were at a little cafe or something. And, but I fell in love with Nice, France,
Okay.
and I would go back. I don't know if if the environment would still be the same as it was when I was there, but
Why did you fall in love with it?
um, I think the weather, the people, the food, the wine all the time. Uh, so it was it was like really cool. You sit down and they didn't drink water because they only drank water, bottled water. So you didn't get a glass of water. What you got was a little bottle of wine and a little loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm.
So
Big on
good.
bread. And
And this real butter that I don't know where that came from, but it was so good. So I remember the food.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Me and Miss Angela got a lot in common, y'all. She done
I'm
mentioned
I'm
my favorite things, food
I'm
and
a
wine.
foodie. I'm a
Yeah,
foodie.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was a foodie until last year we went to Senegal. And I was like, I came back and all I talked about was the food. That was like it. It was like, well, did you see anything? I was like, oh yeah, the history. Let me tell you about that. But the food is so amazing, particularly in Senegal, West Africa. I love West African food. I'm a foodie, so I can definitely relate to that.
Love
Thank you.
that.
Appreciate you sharing.
Yeah.
Nice, France. I haven't been there just yet. Dr. Anita.
I'm here. Yes.
Oh, I saw
I
your
guess.
hand up. You
Oh,
jumping
yeah.
in?
But I'm loving the conversations about international travel and that type of thing. But one thing about our topic in terms of leaving the country and so forth, I am, I'm gonna put it out there. If you own the home that you built and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, would you be so much in a hurry to run away from it just because it's like, burning down, flooded, or whatever? If it's not totally destroyed, would you try to stay and rebuild it, or would you leave it and go and rebuild somewhere else? I just plant that seed. One reason, because everybody doesn't have the ability
The means.
to the means at which to leave, and so that's one. And so that's just one thing, just to plant that seed. The other one is like, y'all, I have literally traveled the world. I guess I should do this, huh? I forgot I wasn't on camera. I'm
Oh, okay.
sorry.
No problem. No
I have
problem.
literally traveled the world, and I'm loving her conversation about driving the Autobahn and going to Belgium. And I'm like, oh man, it makes me want to go back. But I love what she was saying about the places that she's been. I think honestly, if I were to leave, I would love to visit. I haven't visited enough of Africa to say I'd want to stay there. When I go with you to Ghana and Kenya and Egypt, then I'll make my decision. But right now, honestly, Eastern Europe, Macedonia, Albania, actually, not so much Serbia. I didn't like it so much when I went there, but that area, Kosovo, Macedonia, and Albania, beautiful land, beautiful people. I'm I was there a lot of a summer, the bulk of a summer, and have to say that was the most beautiful travel experience I ever had, with the
Interesting.
people, the food, the everything. And if I were to go somewhere, if I had to escape, that's where I would escape to. Wouldn't be easy to hide there because there's not very many of us there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that didn't matter. I was treated with respect from every corner, the patrons in the restaurants, walking the streets, just everywhere. I was never, maybe a little bit of an oddity, which I did feel that, but not a negativity. And I
Mm,
really appreciated breath of fresh air from people that didn't look like me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's different in Europe. I haven't been to Eastern Europe,
yes, yes.
but it's different. And I ain't gonna say they ain't prejudiced, but
No, exactly. I won't
it
say
ain't
they
the
are.
same.
It's not.
It's
It's
not
not.
the
I
same.
honestly enjoyed my time there. I've got to get to Africa more because I've traveled everywhere else extensively, and I need to get to Africa to see where would I won't say escape to, but yeah, where would I hunker down?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you expand?
Yes, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you as always, Doc. Good conversations, right, that we got going on here today. We're talking about living abroad while black, escaping, expanding, or evolving, right? So I like that's why I try to say, because some people are saying you're running away. Some people are saying, hey man, I'm just going to see the rest of the planet. I don't want to live in, I don't want to just stay in this little corner if I got the means. So I love that you brought that conversation in there. But look, in your example, Doc, when you were like, if your house burned down, would you stay and rebuild this, and that? And my immediately thought was, well, what that insurance check look like? Because that insurance check big enough. I'm out of here. Like you had that house, we gone, right? So my mind is always all over the place. But that's good. Good conversation. So the big question that I got for the group right now is why are more Black Americans leaving the U.S.? Why are we leaving? Why? Because there is a Blaxit happening, right? It's not massive, right? Like it ain't like millions are pouring out, but it seems to be the number is going up, right? And I think this is just me personally. You could raise your Zoom hand and jump into this discussion. But I think me personally, the rise in the internet, right? Like, and you global. I mean, you can work from anywhere in the world. Like, why stay in a space where you got to pay four, five, six, $8,000 a month just to survive? Where you could go somewhere that, and for like 20% of that, you can live the same lifestyle. Like, I can take my same money and go live that way. And I love the fact that Sister Georgia got on and was talking about working for a contracting organization, right? Again, here's something I didn't think about, right? Y'all know I live in my own little entrepreneurial bubble here, but yeah, like man, you could go to work for a private company that got contracts, right? Like so, because you're always thinking like, well, if I left, what would I do while I'm away? Look, hopefully we like the seniors out here. I'm here with my dad and my brother just retired a couple of years ago. I think he's gonna go back to work, but he's like, yeah, man, the money just be rolling in and piling up. I'm like, piling up? The money's piling up? I don't know what that look like, but I like that. I like the way it sound. So if the money's piling up, you can go to another place and have an experience. Sister Georgia, you're back in the discussion. Come on, young lady.
Yeah. One of the things I want to say also is the company that I worked for was Black owned.
Wow. I didn't see that
Multi
coming. I didn't see that coming.
multi-million dollar government contractor
Wow.
that had contracts, overseas. He had contracts in at number of the bases throughout Virginia, Maryland, and DC, offices in numerous states. It was amazing. He's now retired, living in Florida, but
Wow.
he left a legacy. His daughter now owns the company.
Beautiful.
So passed on the legacy of the company. So um, it was really, really interesting because I did travel to Paris while I was there. I did travel to Amsterdam, Antwerp, someplace in Germany. I can't remember now, but I did travel. I didn't just stay there because it's a little bit easier to travel from country to country. Unlike here, you're traveling from state to state and everything, but it's a pleasant way to travel. The roads, of course, are very inviting. Um, I mean, even down to the lighting, I've noticed since I came back home, like when you travel at night and the lights, the street lights, you're trying to figure things out and you can't hardly see. their lights are huge. I mean, their lights, you see how I'm stretching my arms out? It's kind of like that. It's like this big, humongous light that lights up the road so you can just see for a long distance. Again, this was when I lived there. A lot may have changed because I lived there in the 90s. We're now in the 21st century. So I don't know what all they've done since I've left there. But the other thing that I noticed is I think my power went out one time during the time I was there. One time. Whereas we have outages and stuff depending upon what state you live in, it may be more often or whatever. And and so it was very different. I like what she was talking about, the wine and the cheese. When I first got over there, which was very, very interesting, just kind of blew my mind because of course they have the breakfast, just like you do here. You get up, you stay in a hotel temporarily until you find a place to live. And so you're on per diem and all of that stuff, which you kind of stay on pretty much the whole time you're there in one shape or form. But I got up that morning for the first time and went downstairs to eat breakfast. The breakfast buffet had crafts of wine at breakfast time. That was just unbelievable. They had all these different cheeses, and they have bread galore, all types of bread they have in Europe. And the breakfast was full of a lot of nutritious stuff. It was like fruits and everything for breakfast. And the other thing that was interesting living there is they had what they call bread machines. If you wanted fresh bread, you go and you put your coins in the machine and out pops a loaf of bread.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there were a number of things that's it's starting to come back to me as I'm sitting here and I'm listening. But it was inviting. I mean, I know people say, well, how did you learn Dutch and all of those songs? I was fortunate. The choir director would record the songs for me, and I could read music. I've been able to read music since I was a kid. And so he would record the music, and I had a booklet with all of the songs in it. And so I would listen to the music, I would go to choir practice, and then I would come back and I would read the lyrics and be able to sing the songs because of listening. And at the time, I could hit notes from hearing. I was fortunate. Can't do that now, okay?
I was about to ask now.
Cannot do that now, but when I was much younger, the voice was much stronger and all. I was able to just listen and I could hit the tones. I could just go up the music scale with ease. So that was interesting.
Interesting. I love that. Thank you for sharing, sister. All right, Sister Angela, someone in the comments said they could tell that you really enjoyed France because the way you were smiling and glowing just talking about it. It's just kind of like, whoa, that's just had a good time. So that's definitely beautiful. Catherine, come on into the discussion.
Oh, hello, hello, hello. Aloha, everyone. This is just so wonderful. I mean, this brings back memories because I've always been a traveler and a seeker, even when I was a young girl, traveling outside of where I lived in East Los Angeles. And then as I got older, moving to Hawaii and and that's my second home. But traveling, outside of this world, the United States has been, I've never ever lost that desire to travel. And the funny thing is that just last week, well, when I ordered the cards, the history cards, and I said, and I've been talking to my daughter, actually. My daughter travels all the time. She likes to go south. She wants me to go south. I have no desire to go south, okay? I love Europe. I want to go to Africa. I've been to Australia. I've been to Spain. So going to Africa is my desire. And I was just thinking about it when I got the email from you. And I thought, I don't want to go with my daughter. I want to take my grandson to Africa with me. And I've been talking to his mother about sending him away to school. So, and I'm planning, hey, I'm going next year.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's
go.
I
have no problem with flying by myself. I love to fly. I don't want to get on no boat. I want to go where I want to go. And I want to be with the local people. I want to eat local food.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, this is just listening to her, talk about the Autobahn. I would get on there and drive.
Oh, we got some speed demons out here.
Oh, listen, when I was in Spain, I could not believe it. I just get on and just drive. And when I came back and I was on the freeway and they had fast track, and I have fast track, I'm on the fast track just driving and get up behind the police. And I said, well, why is he slowing down, right? So I go around him. Oh. And I'm going 90 miles an hour on the fast track. And he puts his lights on. I said, now why is he stopping me to myself, right? So when he comes to my car, he said, do you know how fast you're going? I said, yeah, I'm on the fast track. I go as fast as I want. I laughed. Oh, listen. Anyway, yeah, hey, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with traveling. I want to go to, I have friends in Morocco. I want to go to Turkey.
That's the country.
I want to go to the continent. I want to listen. Yeah.
That's who they were. They were Moroccans.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was Moroccan people that were there. There a lot were in that part of Europe. Yes. Thank you for saying that, because I was trying to think of it.
Hey, I love Moroccan food. You hear me? Love it. I know how to cook it. I have friends in Morocco. Anyway, so hey, I can hardly wait. Okay, I can hardly wait. Thank you for your email. Thank you. You're just, hey, this is what's happening. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, a lot of us have always thought about and have traveled. Especially baby boomers. Nothing stops us from going.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I love it. I love it. A friend of mine just said, yeah, I want to travel with her. I love it. Yeah. I love it. I mean, yeah, the baby boomers, man, they come out on them trips now. So I was thinking like you might come by yourself, but you're gonna leave with some friends because they're definitely on the trip. And what I love about our groups it's our community, right? It's y'all, right? It's literally like-minded people that are coming to have these experiences for similar reasons. Like one sister, Maxine, always says, she said, man, it's like they got like a cheat code for putting groups together. She's been on like 3 trips with us, and she's like, every time the group is amazing. But it's just really because the community is strong, because we got like-minded people and they come in with, we ain't worried about no nonsense. Like nobody's there for the wrong reasons, and people ain't complaining about everything, right? We're going to experience the local culture, right? Like if you want, I always tell people, if you're traveling and you expect America, stay in America. Like you should just stay here because you need to go there and have their experience, right? That's why you're going, is to immerse yourself in that culture. And to learn some stuff that you haven't been exposed to. So it's always just a beautiful thing. I love it. I love it. So we definitely got to get you to the continent because I'm biased. I love the continent. I've been to Europe. I've only been to like Spain, France. I've been to London. I was somewhere else. So not like a whole lot of places in Europe. I do want to go and like do the train and just go around all the countries. Like I think that's gonna be like my next European trip. Like go take the train, and then whenever I get back to where I'm at, then I'll fly back or whatnot. But I want to have the experience, but I'm with Dr. Anita. Like it's so many more places on the continent of Africa I got to get to first. I, like it's back on my list, but I'll definitely go check it out. Morocco was great. I know you talked about Morocco. I definitely enjoyed. I enjoyed the. It's I love traveling because people are so open-minded. You know, sometimes you get an idiot or you get a jerk, but you know, we used to them here anyway. And you get some of the strange looks. I remember that. But like last time I was in London, we were just hanging out and they were like, "Oh, well, what brings you over?" I was like, I just wanted to come hang out. They were like, "You just visited?" Like, like really? Like, but I think that also went with what Georgia was talking about because they got a perception of what Black people in America are like, and you know, I don't know. Like, obviously, I didn't fit the stereotypical conversation and all of that good stuff. But I love being exposed to it, and most people are open and friendly and welcoming and all of those things. So I think it's just great. A good experience. I think people have to travel. I think it's an education. It's often an education that you don't even know you need, you know. And then once you get it, you're like, I gotta go back, right? Like, and I know I like we talk about means and stuff like that, but I think if people are willing, I think let me think. I've been trying to do this show. I've been putting this show out called Live from the Mothership, right? That's what I call my office. It's the mothership, right? So Live from the Mothership, which I recorded Thursday, but I ain't turned my audio on, so I gotta re-record. Anyway, um, I was talking about a book I was reading called The Psychology of Money, which I read. It's worth a good read or listen if y'all are open minded. But it talks about your ability to save is directly related to your humility, right? Because we got this idea of ourselves and you know how the world's got to see us and you know I got to show up dressed to the nines, you know, like baby I don't play, like all of these things, like you got to have a car, you got to be in the neighborhood, you got to do this, you got to do that, right? So you're keeping up with a perception that's keeping you broke, right? And it's keeping us in this cycle of paycheck to paycheck. But instead of the BMW, if you just got the Mazda, right? Instead of the Beamer or whatever, if you just got the Toyota, right? Like it's still going from A to B. It's a nice, reliable car. It just ain't that $80,000 note that go along with it. There's money that can be saved right there, right? And if you instead of living in that neighborhood, you a little bit less, right? Or it's directly tied to your humility or your ability to not care what other people might think. And here's a secret, and I know the elders can tell all of us about this. Ain't nobody thinking about you. They ain't even thinking about you. They ain't even, but you are not on their mind. I promise you, right? You are not on their mind. So I think a lot of times we end up spending a lot of money, effort, and time impressing people that ain't thinking about us. So when you hear like, oh, I ain't, you know, it's expensive, I ain't got enough to travel, it's like, well, where exactly is the priorities at, right? Because if I really want this thing, then I understand I gotta make more money or I gotta pinch my belly in some way. And I'm not idiotic, right? I don't believe you can save your way to wealth or anything like that. I think you have to save. I think you have to be smart, but you got to invest and grow the money as well. Sister Angela, come on back into the discussion.
Well, I was thinking about what you said about traveling, and I think that uh, my own personal experience in traveling, my husband and I had an opportunity in 2007 to travel to Beijing,
Mm,
and it was fabulous,
mm,
fabulous. And the trip was sponsored by a pharmaceutical company, and my uh, I had to contribute teaching at various different uh, schools, university. That's how I paid my dues for being able to go. But uh, when I was in one of the best experiences for us And I know from my husband, when we would go out to eat in Beijing in the community where we were seeing these little women that were the waitresses at the restaurant. Wow. Fell in love with my husband and just waited on him. And we couldn't speak each other's language, so their menus had these pictures. So you'd point to this picture and that's what you would order, you know. But that was a wonderful experience. The food, again,
Oh, here go the foodie.
the food, I would go back to where we were just for the food. The food, I mean, if you like real, uh, authentic Chinese cooking, and that was the best part, the food and understanding the difference. Then when we came back, eating at a we didn't eat at a Chinese restaurant for a year after we left because we knew we weren't going to be happy with the taste. And
Wow. Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, but the food is so fresh. I mean, you think they went to the ocean to get their seafood. I mean, you think they went right outside their back door and got their herbs or whatever they would put in the stir fry is what I would call it. But I mean, just a fabulous time. No problem.
I
No
love it.
problem.
I love it. I love it. We got a running theme with Sister Angela. Sister Angela like to eat, y'all.
Oh
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. But yeah, somebody put it in the comments that that 2007, you go back now, you can talk to them, right? Because these little computers we got now, the translators are like working in real time.
That
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
that
it's a beautiful thing because now communication, I mean, those barriers that was a real issue before are starting to fall away. Sister Diane, where'd you go? Did you run away? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run you away. Did I say did I bring up your conversation? I didn't want you to lower your
Hmm.
hand.
No, no,
Diane,
no, no.
there you go.
My goal was to do all four corners of Africa: North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, and West Africa. All
Mm,
right. And well, in going to North Africa, I also went to Israel and I met a lot of
mm.
Palestinians there. And they used to tell me, they said, you know, we understand what you're going through because we saw the movies of what happens to your people. And well, when I went over there, I went as a college student. I had developed course because I went to an adult college and you had got credits for, your experiences. So my professors helped me to develop courses, like gods and goddesses of ancient religions and gods and goddesses of art. And when I went over to Israel, it was the Ethiopian Jews and their migration into Israel,
Mm.
you know, and from then, as I said, I began to see the world differently. I even began to see religion differently, a whole lot differently. And then when I went to West Africa. I went with. We used to have a theater, an African poetry theater in Queens, Jamaica, New York, and I went with them. And it was the first time that I actually had noticed beautiful Black pilots and, you know, uh, people that worked in the airports. I mean, I lived in New York. I mean, so you saw a pilot, whoopee doo, a white pilot. But over there, I saw these beautiful Black pilots, and it was marvelous. I went to Ghana and I went to Umbasa, and you know, and it was wonderful. And I even had a chance before to meet one of Alex Haley's older cousin. When I went to Gambia, you know. because at the time they was talking about James Island. They later changed James Island more or less to Kunta Kinte Island, you know. And just recently, I came back in March, February and March. I went to East Africa, and I was over in Qatar and Dubai and Seychelles and Kenya. I was supposed to go to another place, but what happened? They said that they had a breakout of cholera, so I didn't go there. And I went to Mauritius. So now I'm looking at going to Singapore, Vietnam, and Asia. Those are my goals. In fact, I've already put the money down on it, and I'm looking to go in 2027. Right now, I basically live in New York, but I'm down in South Carolina. I come back and forth for my mom and my grands and my great grands. But I love traveling. I mean, I would be willing to sell my house just to be able to travel. but but I'm not going to do that because I need
Yeah,
to have some place. And people have asked me, where do I like the best?
great
And you
question.
know what I say? Home. You know, the United States. I like to go visit. You know, I enjoy meeting other people. But hey, the United States is my home. And even though we have an asshole for a president, you know, and we're gonna straighten that out because we've had quite a few of them,
Yeah,
you know,
ain't that the truth?
and we've survived. We've always survived. It has made us stronger. So thank you for letting me share. Okay.
Oh, thank you for sharing. We definitely appreciate y'all. Hey, you know what? I've been terrible because I totally forgot. When you share, when you come on to speak, please let us know if you've been here before, right? So if it's your first time or your 45th time, right? Like maybe. But yeah, I'm always just trying to figure out who's been with us and all of that. But yeah, sis has definitely traveled. They like, man, she's been everywhere. Here's what I like. Here's what I heard. She said she's been to, I was going to East Africa. I went to Qatar. You don't hear people say that. She called quote unquote the Middle East Africa, right? I don't know if y'all even picked that up in the
Mhm.
discussion, right? Like I caught it immediately because we always hear that this is this fictional place that's not attached to anything, but it is, right? So I was interested. I appreciated that. Definitely caught that. I floated a couple of more questions, y'all, out there. I got a bunch of them over here, so but I thought it was good. Just based off like some of the comments and what's being said. What countries are Black people thriving in right now? Right? If you were to leave, right? All right, home's your favorite place, but if you were to leave, and let me put this in context because I'm leaving, right? I want you to know, brother Freddie's leaving, right? Like I'm out of here, but not forever, right? Like, why can't I go live somewhere for a year or two or three and come back? Or why can't I go live for 4 months and come back, right? I don't think it has to be a either or thing, right? I think it can be and I'm really looking for the experience. So I know it was like, why are people leaving? Um, that my first question was really centered around like why are people leaving? Why is it this black shit is happening, right? We know the persecution. This crazy dude is probably a y'all president. Y'all know how family be. Y'all president, y'all. I don't know what y'all president doing, but y'all president driving folks to have a consideration of stepping outside the borders of the country. But I definitely want to. I just want to experience life other things, right? Like to me, this can't be it, right? Like whatever this existence is, not that I don't have a terrible life, right? I have a great life, but I'm just curious. Curiosity is like a real thing, right? I am so curious about the earth. I'm so curious about people. I'm so curious about food. Me and my soul sister Angela, we souls in the belly, right? Like we like to go. I want to taste it all, man. I want to have these experiences. And I used to be the person that didn't eat like if it wasn't familiar foods, I wasn't about to eat it. But I've started once I started dabbling, I was like, oh, you've been cheating yourself, right? It's so much good food out here. And sometimes I can't look at it because I'm like a texture person, like, ooh, I don't think I'm gonna like that texture. But if I don't look at it, I eat it and it's good, I'm in there after that. But yeah, but so I'm just curious about experiences, right? But I'm wondering what countries are people thriving in, right? So I know we talk a lot about Ghana. I hear that often. Costa Rica seems to be a country that a lot of particularly American patriots are moving to. I hear things about Panama. I got a friend that was in our mastermind that just moved. Her and her family moved to Portugal, Lisbon. I believe she's in Lisbon now, right now with their family. I wish I would have thought about it. I would have tried to get them on to have that, let her have that discussion. But yeah, where are you considering? Where is a spot for you that might be of interest in moving, or at least you want to see it? I understand traveling there first. This is why I love exposing people to the continent of Africa or really the African diaspora so you could go see it first and then start to make a decision on if you want to explore it further, right? I don't, and when people talk about moving, because when folks ask me, I want to move to Ghana, right? That's like number one. But I'm more interested in getting a base on the continent of Africa. So every time I go visit somewhere, I don't got to fly all the way back to Chicago to go home. I basically have my suitcase, my clothing, and stuff there in Ghana, and I could come back and relax and build from there. So I know Ghana is like a hot spot, at least in the community. It's hyped up a lot, which I think is driving up prices as well. So there's always that. When Americans come with them American dollars, things always tend to go up. Let's see. Tina says, I agree with you, Freddie. I want to experience everything. Yeah, yeah. Brexit due to laws, politics in U.S. and trickle down effect of it all. Poor food quality. Oh my God. And oh man, that's going back to what Sister Georgia was talking about, right? Like coming back from China and not wanting to eat no Chinese food, right? First time
That's
I
the
come back from Senegal,
that's
I'm
the
all
other
fired
sister.
up.
That
Go ahead,
wasn't
sister.
me. That was the other sister. Was it Diane or Angela that
Oh,
came?
Angela, Sister Angela.
Angela.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She disappeared on my little
Look,
picture
I haven't
thing.
been I haven't been to China yet.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. But I can totally relate because I come back, after Senegal, like turn my taste buds out. Of course, I'm chasing down all these Senegalese restaurants. I'm throughout Michigan, going through them, and Chicago, and it ain't the same. It ain't the same. I hate to say it, but it ain't the same. And I think it's not the same because they don't have access to that fresh food. I don't know if it's necessarily, the different recipe or whatnot, but our food is different. And the longer you stay out of the country, the more you realize somebody trying to kill us. And it ain't even subtle no more. Like it is actually frightening what you're eating. And then like you've been talking about Europe, right? And you know, man, so many of our foods in America can't even be sold in Europe. Like that's the standard of the law. They're not even allowing that stuff to come and get on the shelves, let alone somebody's like, oh, let me get that. But the wild thing is, it'll be the same company, right? So like I'm making up an example, right? Just because I'm blanking out, but like Oreo cookies are different in Europe than they are here, right? I'm almost certain like that's the thing. McDonald's is different in Europe than it is here. They got different ingredients because the European Union won't allow that trash into the foods. I ain't saying it's the greatest for you or anything like that. I'm not definitely not trying to bump for McDonald's, but my point is, ain't it wild that they clearly got the ability, the technology, and the cost structure to make it quote unquote profitable to sell the food healthier, but they just not when they doing it here, right? They're not doing it. And I don't know, maybe they make it more money or whatever, it's a capitalist led country or whatnot, but damn, right? Like it's something wild. But the taste, and to anybody that hasn't traveled, all I can tell you is, man, this is like you will hear this as a consistent theme from anybody that's been anywhere. Like you come back and the food is different. And that alone can turn you into a foodie, right? Like me and Sister Angela, I got it right that time. Me and Sister Angela are foodies. You come on and join us in our foodie group. We need a foodie group now. Let me see what I got in the comments here. Taraji P. Henson suggests Bali, Indonesia. Oh, I hear a lot about Thailand. Just saw her special on CNN, having been there. Yeah, and I know a lot of the Asian Pacific, as they say, is popular because of the cost of living, the quality of living, the healthcare, from what I understand, is phenomenal. It's affordable, and living over there, I mean, your money just goes so much further. And I want to see it. I want to know that for real, right? Like America is. I enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it wherever I'm at. But if I could live the same way for 1/5 or 1/3 of the cost or whatever the case may be, I wouldn't see about that. Because that means I could travel more, right? Like I'm just interested in travel, y'all. I don't want no clothes. I don't want no cars. I don't want nothing. I don't want no big house. I don't care about any of that. I want to be in that sky, going to have my next great adventure. I see the dual citizenship conversation coming up. I actually have dual citizenship. I have citizenship in Sierra Leone. So that's allowed us to be part of ECOWAS, which, is wild because the Sahel Alliance is rejecting ECOWAS and all of this stuff. But anyway, we got the citizenship so we can travel around West Africa freely, and giving us an opportunity to go into places that, the U.S. Might not like, right? These whole countries. Y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all president. I saw Ghana. Let's see, dual citizenship in Ghana. I'll say this: up until this recent wave of dual citizenship in Ghana, they've been all show no go. They've been talking about dual citizenship the last 30 years. And then like the first time I seen any like body like actually get it was, I think that was November of last year, and they had that wave of like 500 people that they rushed in with the dual citizenship. But you got to know that that was done because the president was going out, and they rushed that through. And then think about how many people have you saw posting their Ghanaian citizenship recently since the new president is in office, right? Like you won't see that conversation no more. So I don't know. They've been talking about it forever and taking advantage of being the hype spot to go to. Um, I don't know. I would love to get a Ghanaian citizenship, to be honest with you. So if I'm offered it, I'll definitely take it. But they've been all show no go. Come on, Dr. Anita, jump in
Well, I
here.
guess a couple of things with the Ghanaian situation. They had a lot of pushback from their citizens because of the free land thing and that their land being taken to be given to
Wow.
African Americans who wanted to come back over there and so forth. So they had to rescind that program. They've since ended that program. And that was just the one part. Ghana's got to regroup now in
Okay.
terms of what they were offering with that program for a while. But the other thing you were talking about, Indonesian and that part of the world, having been there and traveled there, it's not, yeah, the finances are amazing. I was quite literally a millionaire over there, just with the little money I was taking over there. But it's also a peace and a tranquility. When I watched Taraji's special, I understood her attraction for it. That was a place that I felt so much calmer when I was over there, that I was like, okay, this is a spot that you can come to and decompress from all the stress. And I know that's why she went there, was to escape all the stuff that was going on for her over here, because she went through a lot that a lot of people didn't know about. So she escaped. And there's a big expat community there. And a lot of them are Black women that have decided that the rat race over here is not for us.
Yeah.
And having been over there once again, I felt a different vibe over there. I was not, if there was racism, I didn't feel it. Yeah, I could have looked American and tourist, and so they hopped onto that. But once I put on the clothes that they wear, I won't lie, I looked just like them. But it was a very calming, serene environment. I loved it there. And I understood her passion for it when I saw her special. I was like, yeah, that's another spot I could really go back to. I only spent a couple of about 3 weeks there, but whenever I go, I try to spend no less than 12 to 21 days somewhere because you really don't know a place until you spent that much time.
Yeah.
5 days, 10, now that's not enough. I got to go for more in order to be able to speak with integrity about a place that I've visited. So I really like that place. And so when you mentioned, I said, oh yeah, that's another spot. And the food. I'm a vegetarian, so it's like a lot of the food y'all talking about, but I can be a vegetarian and be in love with the food there.
Oh
They're
yeah.
vegetarian, and what they do with vegetables and tofu, ooh, puts meat to shame.
Yeah. We ain't gonna go that far, Doc, but
Hey.
no, I be for real, cause you know, like every time you brought that up, like I'm in West Africa, I gotta get the mangoes. I don't know what it is, but it's like you ain't even had a mango till you had a mango in West Africa. And I'm pretty sure it's probably the same in Thailand, right? Or over there. It's just getting outside of this chemical infested food that we're eating. And I mean, everything is different. Just everything is different. Like it's amazing. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Let me see what else we got. Slower pace. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Oh, the sickness, the illness. I mean, if nothing else, a reason for considering moving out, right? It's just better food, healthier food, right? And like everybody's not trying to shove medicines down your throat, right? It's about like, hey, maybe you should eat this. Have you tried this particular herb? You know, you need this thing, right? And this is really where the ancestors were coming from, right? They called it, you know, what is it, witch doctors and all of that stuff, right? But it's just really about the science of the earth and how it feeds the people, right? We should be eating from the ground anyway. So here I go giving Dr. Anita, yeah, a few there, but it's definitely a good thing, right? We have to be more conscious about what we're eating, and sometimes leaving the country, you have an opportunity to do that. One thing that I do want to put on your radar, if this is something that's like serious, no matter what country you're looking for, there are ex-American, expatriates there, and they have communities that you can get involved with, you know, from virtually here, so that you can start to educate yourself leading up to your move or leading up to your visit. So I think like that's a really important thing. I know there's a strong expat community there in Ghana, in particular. Um, but I try to remain open. I don't think it'll be like just a super seamless transition. Like it ain't gonna be no challenges, right? Like I'm not I try not to be delusional about stuff. Even when I get excited, right? I'm excited about it. Um, but you got to think and plan it out. But I mean, as long as you ain't spending your last dollar to get over there, you could always grab a return flight and come back home. Right. So I just, you know, and we're fortunate, many of us, let me say that, are for if you're gonna move to another country, you're fortunate, right? Yeah, you're different, right? So even though a lot of those individuals maybe can't make it out, you can. So you always got that, right? I know maybe, you know, you're like, oh, I want to tuck my tail and come back home. But again, ain't nobody paying attention to you. I promise you that. But it is interesting when you get to these places and you start to see what real poverty look like. Like, and you're like we're talking about poverty. We ain't talking about poverty. We're just talking about means right now between us. But you can see some real poverty, man. Like some folks ain't got no choice, you know, no, and a lot of particularly these African nations don't have social safety nets, right? So there's nothing below you and the abyss. So it's wild. We're in Sierra Leone and you know just really getting to know the people there and you know, and you just come to find out like they've never been to another African country. And it's like the border right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like going to Indiana, right? It's like, but it's shoot, we got people in Michigan never been to Indiana, right? It's literally like 20-minute drive or whatever. And so it's like kind of mind-boggling, but over there the poverty is just different, man. Like I know in Sierra Leone, the average salary was $25 a month. That was the average salary of a Sierra Leone in American dollars, right? $25 a month. And whew, I mean it you could get more than you can get $25 here, but $25, that's like less than $1 a day, right? Like that's man, that's back to the propaganda videos of feeding African for $1 a day. Like that's I shouldn't joke about those things. Y'all don't be messing with me, Dr. Anita. Y'all, that's your fault.
No, but you
No,
make
but
a point. No, you're right, because I don't know where I was. I was traveling. It may have been somewhere in, I hate to say South Africa, whatever, but I was with my 3 children. And we tipped the guy because customarily I'm thinking I'm feeding 4 people, my average, depending on the thing. I gave him $20 and he burst into tears, like saying I'm paying his rent for a month. And I'm looking like my kids looking at me like, Mama, give him another 20, you know. But it was very interesting when I traveled with them. I was like, you see, this was just spending money to us.
Yeah.
And it was like it literally he wanted to hug me, but I was like, I didn't think that was appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, you just paid my rent for a month. And he was honest for his family. So I'm like, when we travel, we have to be aware of our affluence and our influence
Mm,
when we travel, that we
mm.
don't take it for granted.
Yeah, that's big. Hey, it's funny because like I mentioned, I'm here at my dad's house, and we were talking. One of my brothers flew in town, and we just all having a conversation, and we was telling the story about going to Egypt. And Dad, his knees was hurt. He was 93, right? So his knees are hurting a little bit. So we was pushing him around in the wheelchair. So somebody at the facility or the museum we were at, they get the little teenage kids or whatever. They push you around, whatever, right? They hustle it, right? They doing their thing. And man, Pops is dropping 20s. I was like, what is you doing? You about to mess the economy up. Like, man, Samusa, slow down. Like, he just out here throwing around gold chunks and whatnot. But, he was just appreciative of the young man. And like you say, it's just spending money to us, but it's like it makes a difference in their lives. So I thought that was funny though. I'm like, Pops is running around like he man Samosa, man, just messing the economy up, throwing out these dollars like they don't mean nothing to him. Someone asked, where did you go, Alry? I saw you in here asking about Social Security. Can we receive our Social Security in Africa? Yeah, it's yours, right? So you can live anywhere, right? You go into your account. All of that is great. You're not going to get the same healthcare network and coverage. You're going to have to purchase your own private healthcare when you're out of the country. So I do know that. I don't know if there's an international option. Y'all, somebody can chime in and change and educate us on that. But as far as I know, you can't. This is why when you're traveling abroad, I always recommend canceling anytime travel insurance with medical, right? And you want evacuation funds, you want it all, right? It's another couple of $100, right? You spend a couple of $1,000 to go somewhere. You got $200 to put down on some just in case, right? So we want to take care of that because you're 9 times out of 10, that's probably 99 times out of 100, your insurance is not going to cover it. So you got to get the additional stuff. I have annual travel insurance. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this, but it covers all of my trips. I pay like they recently went up. It used to be $510 a year. I would have to dig through our statements. I can't remember exactly the fee, but I feel like it went up to like $600. But every trip I take now is automatically under this coverage. So whether that's domestic, international, everything is covered inside of the trip. And for a traveler, right? I travel once to twice a month, y'all. So you know, yeah. So I travel a bit, but so having something like that is wonderful, right? That's definitely a good thing, right? So if you, I mean, if you're going to travel, definitely get it. I would say get the annual travel insurance. If you, I mean, if you're traveling 6 to 8 times a year, I think you should definitely have that. Um, and if you're going out of the country, I think it's a month. I don't even think it's a question. Like you just put that on the price of the trip. Just add a couple of $100, right, to it to make sure that you have that. Sister Georgia, come on back
Is
into
that
this.
family? Is that a family plan? The flat $600 a month or what? I mean,
Oh, it's
six
not a
hundred
month.
dollars a
Oh my
year.
Lord, I would
I
pass
mean,
out
not
if it was a
not a
month.
month. I mean, a year. The $600, is that a family plan, or is that 600 for you and 600 for your wife?
Yeah, 600 for me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that was individual.
Okay.
I don't, there probably is a family plan option. I didn't even look to decipher the difference. Um yeah, yeah. So I'm not sure. I mean, it probably is though. That's probably smart. But I use Allianz. I ain't got no, I'm not affiliated with them, y'all, or any of that. So like I ain't selling Allianz. But if you are interested, Allianz.
Yeah, I've used them in the past. They're excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I love it because they don't really, it ain't
Nope.
like they trying to,
No,
you know
they're
what I
not trying
mean?
to
To
make,
try to
they're not
nickel
trying to
and
get
dime you.
rich.
They don't
Yep.
ask no
Yep.
questions.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yes, that's
and
who I
we
use too.
recommend it for, our travelers. Of course, we give you all the options. You go ahead and make your own decision. But we've had a couple of people who had a mishap either on a trip or had to pull out at the last second or whatever, and they've gotten their full refunds so that they can rebook on the next trip, right? So, I mean, stuff happens, y'all. I mean, y'all old enough. Yeah, there you go, Sharon. I just dropped the link directly to the site. And then when you get on there, you'll see single trip or you see annual. Just click annual. And it has six
Freddie,
something.
while you're doing this, you need to find out if they have an affiliate program.
Yeah.
Hey, I all the travel I've done not on somebody else's dime because I write grants. I do whatever I can to offset my costs. But if they have any type of affiliate
They
program,
do. I can
if
answer that, Dr. Anita. They do because I am one.
there we
Oh, get
go.
out of here.
So make sure you
Really?
give us your link so you can get a chunk of this change.
Yeah, yeah. If you got your link, you can go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Don't use that one. Use the sister's link until I get mine. No. But
You definitely should get one, Freddie.
I will. I will. Thank you for that. I don't even be thinking about it because I just know you gotta have. We gotta. I mean, like we protect everything else. You gotta protect these trips because they're not cheap, right? Like it's not cheap.
Freddie,
Um,
hi
and you're
Freddie,
trying to relax. Who is that? Come on in.
it's Deborah.
Hey, Deborah, how you doing?
Is this about the Africa trips?
Not directly. This is we talking about it, but this is about our this is just about moving out of the country, right? So what's my official title? Living abroad while black, escaping, expanding, or evolving.
Are we
This
trying
is
to
the question.
escape Trump?
Yeah, right,
All right,
exactly.
listen to this.
Come on
I'm
in.
I'm down the Cape, right?
Yep.
I don't live here, but I have my family compound is here. So I'm on the Cape, and then I was driving up. I was listening to some music. I was listening to Luther Vandross because Luther Vandross. I just took over the conversation, huh, guys? But Luther Vandross got a new CD remix, right? Because he did a documentary, and he did, Never Too Much. You know that song, Never Too Much. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
knows that song. There's a disco version of Never Too Much. Y'all got to get the CD. Get the CD. It's the latest um, Luther Vandross from his documentary.
Mm-hmm.
It's the latest CD. Okay, so then the Lord spoke to me. He said, "You know what? The creativity in the black people and the Holy Spirit is what is going to get us through. The music. Our music isn't just for music's sake, but the music fuels us. I drove all the way from down the Cape on Never Too Much, right? And I was tired. I had the disco version on, and then my nephew runs a brew pub down here in the Cape, a
Mm-hmm.
brewery. He's general manager, Bad Martha. They do all kinds of beers and stuff. You get to laugh. Mostly white folks in there. When they see you in there, they're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm his aunt, the general manager's aunt, right?" But I'm telling you, Miss Dr. Anita, Lewis. I'm starting. I joined Black Lives Matter Global. It's the 5th anniversary of and they given me, Freddie, a free trip to all expenses paid, room and board, July 10th through July 13th. A free trip, and I'm going with my fat. I'm a 300 pounder, but I told them I need 2 seats, and I'm going because my daughter lives in LA. And what I'm saying is, our creativity, our music, the drums and everything, our spirituals, they got us through. And we got the creators. We got Freddie. We got different creators, content creators. That's going to break us through. You see, that's just my theory. But there's something about our music that sustains us. And so we have to get out here, and this is our civil rights. This is our civil rights part 2. But all these young people got to get the music, and we got to educate them. I have 2 grandnieces and nephews, a nephew here, but we got to educate them because they don't know apartheid like we knew apartheid back in the day.
That's
but
right.
Let me tell you guys, let me just say this, fam. We got to get our music. Is going to keep us going. Remember Marvin? What's going on? What's going on? So we have to sing, and we have to pray and praise. Anybody? Can I get an amen from the choir?
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
I thought we was gonna get a song from Sister Georgia.
No, Miss Deborah.
Amen.
Miss Deborah, tell us which Cape, because I live in Virginia and I know I got the Cape on the Eastern Shore. And so which Cape are you talking about?
I'm talking about Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah,
you got to tell us, because we got a whole lot of capes.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Y'all
call it the
Okay.
Cape too?
Yeah, I thought you was in Cape Town, South Africa. I was
That's
like,
what I
man,
thought
they in
too.
Cape Town.
Did you see that? Did you see that spectacle that what's his name? Trump had try to outsmart the South African president. You see that? But you know what? Did you hear the South African president say what he said after? Did you hear about what he said after? He did a whole montage. He said Trump's a racist. He said he even wants South Africa to buy a jet. But I got one thing to tell him. He said, we don't play that colorism stuff. We don't play that color stuff in South Africa. He clapped back. So I'm saying we cannot be discouraged. I know. And let me tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring South Africa to America. They want American South Africa. You see what I'm saying? Get rid of all that black stuff. Get rid of all that. Put y'all in the Bantus. But us with the means, with the power, with the means, a little bit of money, we might not have it, but we got some, right?
Yeah.
And some stuff we gonna make it. We gotta get the rest of them, pull them up. So I'm going to LA, Miss Georgia.
I love it.
I'm going to LA. I told them they called me, they say, now I got this lady, I would get her on the line. Her name is what's her name? Marlene Stevens' daughter from Oxfam. She's a storyteller. She does a one woman play on Nina Simone. She got a band. She can tell some stories. I'm about to call her now and get her hooked up.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you, sister. We definitely appreciate you being here and always participating. Excellent. I think I got like 12 thoughts running through my head. But let me drop this next batch of questions, y'all. We're coming up on our second, we're in our second hour, but we're coming up on hour 2. So for those of you that are new, pay no attention to the timing in those emails, right? We're scheduled for 2 hours, from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We often do a little bit of overtime, right? Let's call it that. Hey, if y'all been around for a while, just smile with me on that one, right? They know. But if the conversation is grooving and we in it, right, then we just tend to hang out a little bit longer. I saw Sister Georgia munching on something. Maybe we have to start telling folks that you're going to have to keep a little snack nearby, right, just in case, right, so you get, because grandma's soul food right now is virtual. It's hitting your spirit, not necessarily your stomach, and you're going to need a little bit of that. But we just love to enjoy one another, man. I think like this is a beautiful space that we're crafting out. So y'all have had the benefit of coming at a time where we got ourselves together a little bit, right? It was more of the Wild Wild West a couple of months ago, but we definitely are in the place. But I want to guide the conversation into legacy, right? Can you build legacy and community while living abroad, right? So a kind of a different conversation because it's like, are you leaving? Are you running? Are you abandoning your family? Is there something that you can do for that, right? So keep that in mind. You can always raise your hand, right, if you want to join in on that discussion. But it goes along with what does building wealth, family, and cultural ties look like outside of the United States? How do we maintain connection to our people, our history, our mission, our while abroad? And can you be a part of the Black American fight while living in another country, right? So three more very good questions for my astute audience out here. Come on into the discussion. Doc, what say you?
Okay, I'm looking at the first question. What does building wealth, family, or culture ties look like outside the US? I mean, guys, we are living in the age of technology. I can be like, you can be in another country and be conducting this. We can't let distance stop us from making
Mm,
that. So in terms of yes, we can. I guess that's his answer. What does it look like? It looks like technology. It looks like Zoom. It looks like online. It looks like FaceTime. It looks like all of those things. Because as much as I've traveled, I've maintained, I talk to my children every day when I traveled because we call it proof of life. They had to see my face and hear my voice because I'm on across the world and they're like, where's mama right now?
yeah.
So yes, that's one way. The other question is how do you maintain connections to our people, our history, and our mission while abroad? It's like looking at what you're doing, Freddie, with the diaspora. Our people are abroad.
Hmm.
Look for them while you're over there and make those connections. And once again, I'm talking back to my people at home on a daily basis. And as an educator, I bring all that right back to my classrooms. It's like I bring all those stories back. So in making that connection, find your culture when you travel. It's like I have a friend that whenever he travels, he doesn't eat in the normal spots. He looks like he said where the bras go. He says because there are bras in every country in this world, and he will look for where the bras go. And I was like, yeah, I might not be able to do that, but you can. But yeah, that's one of the ways to maintain the connection. Is do your research before you go. It's like don't go ignorant and make sure you do your research. And the internet is wide open. Do your research, vet your sources, have your list. They got Yelp type places and that type of profiles and so forth in every country. Find their Yelp and see where their places are. Find that person, that expat, that community. There's a lot of, I rely on Facebook. I'm old school, okay? So it's like I'll Google Facebook, in this country, and I start lurking in there, searching and looking and saying, so, okay, I see where their conversations are going. But yeah, that's another way to do it. And can you be a part of Black America fight while living in another country? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Mm,
It's like two ways, through your time and through your talent. Invest in those organizations, those businesses, and so forth. You can live somewhere else and still let your money talk for you. And at the same time, I could be where still engaging in this conversation.
yeah,
I mean, we need to use, technology to propel our message forward. And
yeah,
we can be anywhere when we're doing it.
definitely.
So I won't let distance be a reason for me not being a part of the diaspora and making meaningful impact in that. You can write wherever you are, you can type wherever you are, you can conduct your workshops, your presentations, your phone calls from wherever you are. Distance doesn't matter if you have good Wi-Fi technology and so forth. That's the key. Now I've been places where I didn't have Wi-Fi. So I wrote a journal and then I posted it when I got back. It is what it is.
Right.
So yeah, don't let it stop you from going. Don't let it stop you from being, but make sure that you do your research ahead of time so that you know what is out there, what's available to you, what the capabilities are, and things like that. So,
Doc, they asking you, are you planning on to moving abroad?
no, no, I plan on traveling a lot abroad. And when I travel, like I said, I stay not less than 2 or 3 weeks. But now that I am retired, Freddie, I plan on staying a little bit longer in places. Before, I could only stay 3 or 4 weeks and travel during the summer or holidays or whatever. But there's no limit on my time now.
Yeah.
But I'm real big on making sure that I reach back, no matter where I'm going, I'm reaching back to bring that back. So yeah.
That's how I want to start, a month or two at a time.
Yes.
And
Get a
seeing stuff.
get a taste for it. Yeah.
Get a real taste, because
Yes.
visiting and like I've been touring Africa, it's cool.
Yes. Yes.
You know, but if you ain't got it for 4 months, like, am I fiending for, my down? I don't even know what I love, but it's something, right? Because you when you ain't got it, you know that it's missing, right? So I feel you on that. Just starting to expand those conversations or span those stays, and having more of those conversations is definitely a
Exactly. But
good
don't
thing.
forget where you come from.
Yeah, I love
You
that.
know, I guess it's my thing, and who your people are.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Zonda, are you there?
She needs to unmute.
Oh, okay. That's the issue, right? I be forgetting sometimes it's a problem.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. It takes me a while. I'm trying to get my camera because I know y'all like to see faces.
We like to see you. Come on in. There you go. Hey now.
I didn't expect to be called so soon.
Oh, you know me, I
But
can pontificate for a moment now if you need a minute.
oh no, I'm good. I'm good. It's just that I thought it was some other, people ahead of me. But yeah, I agree. Now, I have not been to Africa. I've not been to any parts of it in any trip, but from my limited knowledge, I think yes, that we could build here. I think it's important that we do so. And years ago, I was under this ministry, and she was saying, this lady, she was a business lady as well, but she was saying we as Black people don't have anything because we don't have a supplier. We don't have a direct supplier like the Japanese, the Asians, they have a direct supplier. And to get their stuff, whatever they're selling. The Russians, they have a direct supplier. Every group has a direct supplier. We don't have a direct supplier. And I think making those connections, if it means living in the economy and stuff like that on the continent of Africa, it's just making those contacts. We and I'm getting a vision of just joining those for our hands, arm in arm, linking ourselves together, and because we're operating all in separate entities. And I say that because it's all correlating with, sounds like I'm jumping, but I'm correlating. I'm going to pull it in a second. I thought about this community in Philadelphia. They had, it was a bunch of Africans that had moved, they had developed their community. And I mean, in this, they call it like you have Chinatown, they had African Town. And the complaints of the Black neighbors, the African American sisters and brothers, was that, they coming in, taking over our community. They double parking, and because they all worship at the same time. So it's like hordes of people that, they just taking over. And to me, I'm not living in that area, but to me, in my mindset where I am now, I saw that that's an opportunity. Let us learn of each other's culture. Let us bind ourselves together and just start. What do you call it? The word is getting away from me. Connecting and what do you,
Networking.
networking. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Networking and just, instead of being a separate entity, let's link ourselves together. And I think that is so crucial. I think we're right now in a time and a season to start doing that. And gleaning from last week's meeting and all the ideas and stuff. And I mean, I said my piece about the music and stuff like that. And then the queen before me, she talked about that as well. And so it's like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm getting full and I lost my train of thought. It's like we got just Glenn, I know where I was going with that. From last week's meeting, after I said that and everybody said their part and everything, I really, really pondered on that. And I mean, when I take things not personally in effect of that as an attack, but I take it as what am I doing? What is my part? And I know my part is I'm a prayer warrior. I'm gonna put it that way. I'm a prayer warrior. I sometimes, I can see the vision and stuff like that. And in that I saw that we have a lot of power right now in this group.
Yes, we do.
In this group. And it's getting, I mean, down to the youngest person to the oldest. And it's like connecting and networking with each one of our powers and making it work. All of us got a way of getting, we all have expressed get to that goal. And it may be a different way, it may be slightly changed, it may be up sideways, one may go straight ahead, one might go up, down, in and around, but we all going to the same goal. And that's the beauty in it, that we all have that our part. And it's just making that part work. And but yes, the answer is yes. I think we can be effective here in the US if we're living in another country. And it's just knowing the how and learning what and answering all those questions.
Yeah.
I don't know how, and I believe it's there, but I'm willing to find out how and get the knowledge of that.
I think Brother Johnny kicked us off with the right thought, right? The limitations are in our mind, right?
There you go.
Yeah, it's in our mind, so we can figure it. It might take some mulling over. You got to mull it over and bounce it off of one another and continue to build. But it's definitely possible, right? We can definitely shake the world.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
love it. Thank you. Appreciate you as usual. Janelle.
Hey Freddie, I'm here. I was listening on YouTube. So I had to sign in and chime in because I notice every time I listen on YouTube, you just get totally out of order. And I heard you talking about, well, how much is that check gonna be? Depends on how much that check is, because if that check is the right amount, I might have to leave y'all right away. And I'm like, see, you can't let him roll on his own because he just gets out of order and all over the place. He just goes to a whole nother level. And somebody got to tell you to stop doing that, Freddie. Look, people get used to you, and then you try to say, well, I'm about to leave. So, if the check is right, I'm out. That's what I heard. That's what you said, but that's what I heard. I think I'm pretty perceptive, but so I think that's what I heard.
But
I
I'm
still
gonna
got
get
love. I
back.
still got love for you though. I still got
Look, I appreciate that, and I still want my piece of peach pie too.
All
But
right, now we talking.
see, but I have to tell Ms. Zonda, I just love her hair. Look, before I go on to anything else, but I am just so impressed by the vast amount of information that's being shared here.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't gatekeep, so I'm going to share something that maybe others aren't aware of. There is a group on Facebook called Melanated Passports. Now, I don't interact with this particular group a lot, but I have found that they are a wealth of resources for information, especially because the group is dedicated more so to international travels than domestic. So they talk about a lot of the things that are coming up here. What happens if I do decide to move abroad? How does that look for me, for my family? How does it look for maintaining communication? Is it worth doing? Should I do it? Why shouldn't I do it? So for me, I've learned a lot from them. I'm going to be honest, the extent of my international travels right now is Canada. And I love Canada. Some people do, some people don't.
I like it.
I want to go to Morocco, but for me, that's probably as much of Africa as I really want to see, if I'm being honest. I don't like animals. I don't like wild animals. I don't need any leopards or monkeys jumping on my back in Thailand. I'm good on all of that type of stuff. I'm not a foodie, so I don't have to experience any of that.
Oh.
I need some water and some fresh air and fresh sky. And like you said, access to healthy and natural foods that are not genetically modified or bioengineered, so that I can live a happy, good life. That's just me. Other people need other things. I don't need to be by the Sahara Desert. If you say you went and it was beautiful, I'm gonna take your word for that. I don't need to go. And that's just me, because everybody is different. So you have to be true to your own self, right? But I know for me, one of the biggest things that comes up is that people don't realize that when you go to another country, you have to follow their rules, right?
Yep.
So in doing that, you have to be prepared to make some adjustments to how you choose to live your life, where you choose to live it, as it falls in line with what they're offering you and what they have. You have to respect other cultures. And a lot of people don't think that that's a big deal, but it is a very big deal. You wouldn't want somebody coming to your house, not following your culture and your rules. So people have to ask themselves, am I prepared to do that? Or am I so comfortable? Am I so Americanized that I don't know how to adjust outside of my own zone? Right? So the technology too is a big thing, because now there are so many things that you can do that you couldn't do before. Like I went a week at a castle in France, right? Not realistically thinking it out. I was about 20 something at the time. Didn't really think about the cost of airfare, just going to the castle. I forgot the big piece in between. So I never actually went on the trip, but I'm glad that I didn't, because I wouldn't have been ready for it then. Now I'm ready for my trip to Morocco, shots and all. I'm ready for everything. But
you don't need them.
That's the thing. Now you don't. So you have to keep track of what's going on. And that was one thing that kind of also came to mind for me, because right now there are so many of us trying to go to other countries, that there are a lot of countries that have requirements for your bank statements, for instance. They want to know how much money you bringing in. So if you just visiting, that's one thing. But if you plan to move, you really have to do some research. I have at one point had wanted to retire to Panama. And that is one of those places where you have to have steady income coming in. They want to see your money. And I cannot blame them for that. They want to make sure you're not just coming over there to come pander, because they don't have a welfare system and they're not about to let you mooch off of them. You're about to go to work. So it's a good balance of things. It's knowing what works for you. My sister is the exact opposite of me. She has that travel spirit. She's been to Lisbon, she's been to Paris, she's been to Morocco. Like, she's been a lot of different places. And every time she gets ready to go, she's like, you coming this time? Absolutely not. Do they have a beach? No. Do they have, I have requirements.
They got beaches now. There's beaches in Africa now. Some of the
They
best
do have
beaches in
beaches
the
in
world.
Africa, but when she was going, it wasn't a good time for me work-wise. So I appreciate what one lady said. When you are working, the reality is that you might have that lofty dream, but you might not be able to make it work at that time.
to me, it's ideal if you're going to go on a nice vacation for something like that, or even just to get to know the place. Give yourself at least 2 weeks to get to know the place, because 1 week you're just getting comfortable. Second week, you are actually learning a little bit more about the place. And if you truly want to relocate there, you got to do the research. You got to do the homework. I know a lot of people are not on TikTok. There are a lot of younger people on TikTok who have made the decision to leave the US, and they talk about what happens with them. And there's one young man and his sister in particular. I can't not remember their names right now, but they talk specifically about how they made mistakes when they first got there. Like one guy was saying, he moved to this decent area, and the area he moved to was decent, but he was still going to shop at places that tourists go to shop at. So he was paying 3-4 times what the locals were paying. And the locals like timed all on top of him on that TikTok. They were like, hey, we don't shop there. That stuff costs too much money. You are paying more money for things than you have to. And you should go to this market. You should do this. You should do that. So you got to do the work. And I just, even within our own country, you have to do the work if you're going to move someplace up. I'm not one of those who's about to run down south like my Hawaiian friend said. I can't even remember her name. As soon as she said aloha, I was like, my happy place. So I know I love Hawaii. I've been there 3 times. I know that's a blessing. Some people have never been. They want to go. But it's like you said, sometimes you have to make the sacrifices. I was young. Now, did my wardrobe come from JCPenney? Yep. But did anybody care? Nope, because what do they know? It's like, oh, you look beautiful. Thank you. I know I got it for $5 on clearance from JCPenney. Look, I know that the shorts came from Dots, but hey, as long as you work it out and you can do it, it is a sacrifice. It's a big sacrifice. Sometimes you might not go where you want to go when you want to go, but keep that list, keep that dream, and keep researching. I actually subscribe to a retirement place for overseas retirement travels for expats. I'm like, I'm not an expat, but yeah, I still want to sign up here. Let me see what these folks are talking about, because they get all the good deals and all the good secrets, and they tell you, they're like, oh yeah, make sure that passport, don't go visit anybody without having at least 10 blank pages in your passport. I'm like, good look. Thanks for that tip. Look, note to self, renew passport now because it's about to expire in a year. So, and they tell you, if your passport's expiring within 6 months, there are some countries you can get into and you will not be coming home. And you can cry all you want to, but you're going to have to reach out to the embassy. Make sure the embassy knows you're there. Make sure you're checked in, even if you're just visiting. It's a lot of helpful tips and things that we can help each other with, and it's a lot that we can learn. I'm just so impressed at the wealth of travelers here. But for right now, I'm probably gonna stay stateside until I can do the really big stuff I want to do. And that's just me. That's just my choice. Everybody has to make that choice. I would love to go with you on a trip, Freddie, but some of the places you're going to, they're not on my checklist. So it's nothing personal. I think it's a beautiful thing for the people that want to go, and they can check it off their list.
Yeah, it's all good. No, but that's the beauty, right? We all got our choices. And y'all know Brother Freddie going. Brother Freddie going, Brother Freddie gonna eat the food. I'm gonna take the pictures. I'm gonna do the music. I'm into it all. I want to see the nightlife. I'm going all over the place. I want to see it all. I'm nosy, y'all. I just want to know. I want to have those experiences. But Sis brought up a lot of good points, right? So I'll add to, if you're going to a country or you're thinking about considering moving or whatever the case may be, going somewhere where you're not coming with us, that you don't have experienced travelers, you're going alone, definitely reach out to those expat communities. They are wonderful. Hey, if you are in an organization, I don't really care what organization you are in. It's likely there's an international arm to it. I'm in Omega Psi Phi. The Qs are all over the globe, right? So no matter where I go, I'll reach out to the Qs. They plug me with the Qs on the ground. Bang, now I got a friend on the ground and direct connect. Every country I go to, I try to link up with them if they're there, and they come out and take you out. Just you're looking for somebody that has more experience than you in this particular area so that they can tell you the things that she was talking about. Hey man, don't be buying groceries over here. Buy them over here. You're going to get the same thing for less, right? Or that thing. And you will notice, you will notice, because when you come on, I'm gonna tell you, you come on a trip with us, we, for the most part, you're gonna be on the beaten path. right? Because one, we want you to be safe, we want you to feel comfortable, and we want you to have a variety of food options that you know, because everybody's not daring and adventurous, right? But some people are. So we need a good mix of the local foods, the local experiences, and some creature comforts. Particularly if you bring your grandchild, right? So it's a couple of people were talking about, hey, I want to travel with my grandson, I want to travel with my grandbaby. Well, grandbaby ain't eating nothing but some fries and some and some chicken. What they eat? Chicken tenders. Ain't that like
Chicken
the kids
nuggets.
menu? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. Yeah, yeah. So you know you got to have some of that for them as well. So it's just always a good mix. But I want to encourage you if you're a part of organizations, particularly at an international arm, reach out to them and they can connect you with people that are on the ground. And you know you can continue to grow and build with them.
Freddie,
Sister
I have a
Catherine.
question for you. The Janelle mentioned a Facebook group, and I see a lot of people in the chat are asking for the name of that Facebook group. I'd
Melanated
like to know it too.
passports.
What?
She said melanated passports. Yeah.
Okay.
So I haven't checked them out. I don't know nothing about them. Good luck. Right. I'll say that, but hopefully they're okay. But yeah, I know we're just looking for information. We're trying to grow, we're trying to learn, we're trying to build our networks. Freddie, where are you
No, I'm
going?
sorry, Freddie. I'm just jumping back in real fast. With melanated passports, you don't really have to interact with them. You can just search the group and get all the information you're looking for. So that's one reason why I like them. It's not one of those places. They do offer different things, but whether or not you take advantage of it is totally up to you. And they have a history of doing that. So they're not one of those fly-by-night groups. They are more of a, our people are out here in the world doing their thing, and we're going to do it as a melanated people. So okay, I'm done.
I love it. I love it. I see Sister Deborah says, Freddie, where are you going? And when, please, everywhere and now. um, yeah, traveling. I mean, I don't know. So we got Brazil's coming up in September. I'll be on that trip. I'm going to Nigeria at the end of September, early October, and then South Africa is, I think that's November.
I want to go there.
Say it again.
I like to go to South Africa.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful experience, right? I'm looking forward to it. And then maybe for New Year's this year, I might go to Ghana. I want to do Daddy December. I'm big on that, on getting there. Sister Catherine, did I talk too long? Come on back into here. Get back in here.
Yes, I wanted to say mahalo and thank you. I'm going to be leaving the group. I have church tonight, and
Okay.
I'm over the meal every Sunday. So thank you. I will not be a stranger. Okay. And by the way, my grandson is used to all types of food.
Oh, he
Okay.
ready.
Oh yes. Yeah. Well, he's my great grandson.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a great
Yeah.
great grandson. He
Yeah.
knows.
Five generations in my family. My mom passed
Wow.
away last year. She was 104.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So I'm looking forward, you know, he loves to be with me, and I love to take him everywhere that I go.
I
All
love
right.
it. I love
So
it.
I won't be a stranger. Thank you, ladies. Love you all and look forward to seeing you in person.
Yes, yes.
On one
Take
of
care,
these
Sister
trips.
Catherine. Go and get that meal together. I want you to get in trouble now.
Oh no, I got it together. Okay, God bless.
God bless. All right, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Hey, sis got to get out of here. She got big work to do. I love that. Maria, come on into the discussion.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
This is the first time I'm joining you, so I'm getting a little excited. I'm from Nigeria, and so I'm excited about the fact that you're going to Nigeria, and the time that you're going is right before it gets too hot. Because October, the weather is getting better, and you will be able to enjoy at the time. And I wish you were there for Christmas, because that's when most Nigerians go home, and that's when you will see all the nightlife and the parties and you name it. In terms of South Africa, because I've been there as well, um, if you get to know the natives and travel with the natives, you will get to experience the culture in the true sense of it. One of my favorite experience in South Africa was the Sunday event. And that was, I think it was in Johannesburg. I think it was not in Cape Town. I think it was Johannesburg, um, where the natives come out on that Sunday night, and it's almost like listening to a chorus of singers. And as you're driving, everybody is singing the same song, but it is moving along with you.
Wow.
It was an experience for us. If you have an opportunity to go and visit some of the orphanages, you will see the beauty of Africa in the true sense. I hear so many people talking about going to Africa, and because I'm an African, one of the things that always would bother me was the fact that people will say, I'm going to Africa. And Africa has 54 countries. And so I always like people to just name the country. It's easier to name the country so that you know exactly what you're getting into, because we're a little different. Each one of us has a differences in our approach to life. But one thing is a common thread with all Africans that I have encountered. They're naturally happy people. You don't need a lot of money to keep them happy. So the American wealth will be a little bit overwhelming for somebody who is in Africa, because what you call what an American will say is they are poor, is what an African in the true sense will see as you're well-to-do. At least you can get running water and you can have electricity and all of the basic amenities that Americans take for granted. But when you go into a continent like Africa, um, um, one of the challenges that I have encountered with some of my friends who've come to Nigeria with me is that they forget that the American Constitution does not protect them there. And you have to remind them that you need to just try not to stick out like a sore thumb, but to respect the culture of the people, because the people have different cultures. I have lived in this country long enough, but my children have also been raised in this country long enough. So, as a Nigerian living here, my children will be the first to tell you that there are two countries in their neighborhood. My children know that they can follow the American culture outside my mailbox. And from the mailbox in, they follow the Nigerian culture. Because I want to be sure that they never forget that they came from a place that is steeped in tradition. Um, that's one of the saddest thing for me as a Nigerian and as a first generation that has come to live here. The saddest thing is that it's one thing to steal a people from their country. It's another to steal their culture from the people. And so for me, I'm constantly watching the African Americans that I encounter, and I can see the thirst in them. They want to know so much about who they are. And most of us Africans, you can see an African American and you can immediately say, you're from this country because of the features. And the African Americans are interested in knowing. It's kind of sad that there are so many African countries that make empty promises and they have not kept it. And I wish they would not make the promise, but if they have to make it, they need to keep it. But I'm excited about this platform. A friend of mine invited me to join today, and I thought I'm going to join it because knowledge is power. My mother always says, knowledge is a thick forest. You can never cover every inch of it. So I tend to open my mind and learn as much as I can about what is out there and what we can do as a people. Because as a Nigerian, I went on a Footsteps to Freedom last summer, because I wanted to see what it felt like to go on the Underground Railroad. And in that journey, I found out that many people have scars that they're carrying with them. But it was kind of hard because many people did not know that Africans had scars they were carrying with them too. That for me as an African, every African American I saw, I asked the question, why did the world keep silent when this was happening?
Mm.
So I am so glad that this forum is going on, and I hope I can sign on again next time you run it. Thank you so much.
Yes, I definitely hope you come. And I gotta ask you, are you Yoruba, Igbo?
I'm Igbo. I'm that tribe that refused to be transported. We were willing to jump off the ocean than to be transported.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. Oh, okay. So, well, thank you for joining us, sister. I mean, it's there's nothing like having people that got the real experience to kind of, fill in the gaps for us, right? Because we try to research, we try to learn, you try to travel and learn as much as you can, but you just don't know everything. And I love the saying. I need that one more time. The knowledge is like a forest. What was that? You say your mother's?
Knowledge is like a thick forest. You can't cover every inch of it. There's one that I use because when you go to a foreign country, you want to learn as quickly as you can about what their country is about. So I'm here as a foreigner in a country, and so I had to learn as quickly as possible. And one of the ones that I've always used, and they've used it in their city stories out here, is I said, I'm from Africa, so I have to use pictures in my mind. And so, as an African, we cannot worry about ants when we have an elephant on our heads.
Can I ask a
Wow.
question?
I love that.
Miss
I
Maria,
love that. Sister, thank you for coming, first time and for getting on the mic, right? I'm always trying to encourage people to engage in the conversation. So I love it when, especially you got referred by somebody. It's not like you was a customer of one of our products and you came up. So you took a referral and showed up and then you participated as well and share it with us. So I definitely appreciate that. I'm looking forward to getting to Nigeria myself now. It's been on my list for a while. This is our first time going as an organization. So we're super excited to get there and start the reconnection process, right? So
Yeah,
this
I'll
is
be
great.
more than glad to send you some people in Nigeria that will point you in the right direction.
Oh, I would
I
love
have a
that. I
question
would
for
love
Miss.
that. If you could inbox me maybe some content, just email, that'd be fine. That'd be great. I got Urban Intellectual. I'll put my name on this. I just realized that. But yeah,
Some
this is great. All right. This is what it's about, y'all. Thank you, sister. Thank you again. I'm gonna change my name here in just a second.
and somebody had a question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your-
I had a question.
okay.
Oh, Miss Mary, Miss
Yes.
O'Hara. I've
Yes.
been to Africa. I went to Senegal and the Gambia,
Mm.
and I went as a part of Oxfam America, and I was working for Oxfam, so I won a trip because I didn't work in the regional. I didn't work in the overseas. I worked in the overseas department, but I wasn't somebody that traveled. I was the Africa regional assistant, but I was stationed in America, so I won a trip. I took my husband at the time, but I didn't get a. I don't think I got a full picture of Africa because I didn't really get to meet. I was there on like Oxfam business, and I was and my husband at the time, he didn't work for Oxfam, so he just was had a lot of culture shock from me going over to Africa. And I recently um, met a woman that was uh, talking about culture and how African people don't, some of the culture you don't know because when you were colonized,
Mhm.
you couldn't learn your own culture. And I thought that was very intriguing for somebody who's African American, who my culture was taken away from me when I was brought over here from Africa as a slave. But for Africans to not to know, like you say, Yoruba, but to not to know
Igbo.
your past culture, is that true or is that not true?
That is not true.
Okay, so you could like trace back hundreds of years.
Yes, I have the trace. I have the trace of my ancestors down.
I can't hear you. You're on mute.
It muted.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened.
I have a history of my ancestors all the way to whatever it was that they came about.
So, I mean, do you
So,
remember them as kings and queens?
yes.
Okay, in Nigeria. So we don't. The thing about it is, from African Americans, we don't have that
Yeah.
history. So they like, for some of us, we think we were just slave. We started as slave. That's our history, but
No.
that's not true.
No.
And so I've always
That is the history they would like you to believe.
yes, and I've always been inquisitive to know more. Like,
Yeah. One of the things I think you need to keep in mind is that the person who writes the history will always write it to fit their narrative.
mhm.
So if your history is written by you, you will tell the whole story. 1 second, somebody's at my door and I'll be
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Interesting
I'm gonna
stuff.
jump in here real quick too while she runs to the door to let you guys know anybody that's not doing Dr. Aiden's and Gwen Ebron's classes, because they give us our history back to the kings and queens of the different countries. And he's done a class on Ghana, and I forget where we are right now. I have to look and see. But yeah, those classes are what's informing me about our history prior to 1492, going all the way back to BCE and everything. So those would be a good start, is to actually start taking some classes, which is what I'm doing. I take the classes to get our history from before colonization.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Doc. I dropped those links in there. Those are our Urban Intellectuals Black History classes for adults. Deborah, you can pick back up with Maria.
Yeah. So like when you said that you were from the tribe of Yoruba, and those
Igbo.
Igbo,
Mhm.
those were the people that jumped off the ships.
Freddie, unmute her.
Oh, I wasn't paying. Oh, why can't I see the unmute? There you
Okay.
go. She got it.
All right. No, we are the, I don't know if I'll call it we are the proud ones, but we are the ones that were strong enough to say, I'd rather die in the ocean than to be picked up.
Yeah, I never knew that. That's Igbo.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
You
Excellent.
got a couple of hands up, Freddie.
Yes,
Yes,
I see him. I
yeah.
see him. I'm
Okay.
working on it. Well, thank you, sister. We're gonna keep the conversation going and feel free to come on back into the discussion. We got a little bit more time. I know we're in overtime right now, but we don't rush out of here. I promise you that one. Like, unless grandma trying to throw us out. She ain't throwing us out. She feeling good. Oh, Miss Cecilia's back. Hey, how you doing, young lady? How you doing? Come on into the discussion. Oh.
All right. Yeah, thanks. I'm still away from home, but I just wanted to make a couple of comments. One goes back to my childhood, when for a few years I lived in Japan when I was a child, and that was the time. I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember the book The Ugly American. But they pushed it on, not pushed it on us, but it was being read at the time because of the way Americans act when they get into another country, and they're angry that the people don't speak their language, and they don't dress the way they do, and they don't jump when the American says jump. And they expect to be treated as special groups. That it helps not to be the ugly American. It helps to learn a few words like please and thank you in the other language. It helps for you to be to get with the regular people and not hang in the tourist traps, because one of the things that happened to us as we lived there, we made friends with well, this is for long-term stays, not just for visits, but we made friends. My folks were fishermen. Made friends with an old man who had owned a fishing tackle shop, and he had a young son who was a college student. And we made friends with them, and they took us around. I have a whole different impression of Japanese people because we celebrated festivals in homes instead of going to the tourist places. And I know Japanese people that party. They are some partying folk. They dance in the street, and and they eat the real food. And you know, to see if you're going to be somewhere for a long term, you see if you can hook up with some of those folks, and don't be haughty, and and carry on like you should be catered to, because you'll wind up being catered to if you are a friendly person.
Yeah.
And if you are a respectful person and respecting that culture, and be open, because the food is good, the people are good, and we are naturally friendly people. And so you just go there and swing. And, I taught here in New York, and the demographics are changing here. I had kids from the Ivory Coast, I had a kid from Nigeria, and these are 10-year-olds. And when I got to the unit on slavery, well, my whole year was a unit on Black history. I started with Emmett Till and went and went forward from there through the year. And I made a statement that we all came from slaves. And I heard a little voice said, "My people were never slaves." And I said, "Whoa, that's right," because he just came here from the Ivory Coast. And we had to take that into account too. We don't have the same history because some of us were stolen and some of us were left there. So remember that they weren't slaves. If they, like this lady from Nigeria, because her people have been there for thousands of years. And we have to stop at my great grandparents were the last of us that were slaves. So we can't go back very far because the great grandparents were numbers, were a gender and an age. And that's all that showed up in the census documents. So
Wonderful.
okay, thank you. So, just those two things, just we have to put into our heads, into our minds, because we are, we're the same, but we're very different. So
Yeah.
there it is.
They say they hope you're doing well. And yeah, we definitely me too. So hopefully you're getting better, getting stronger.
Yep, I am. I'm supposed to
Good.
go home in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Okay, good, good.
All right.
I'm glad to hear that. Good to see that smile.
All righty.
All right, all right. I love that. I mean, all of that's so real. And I love what Sister Maria was talking about. Like when you go to these places, man, don't be no ignorant American. That's the best way I can put it. That's like y'all know I like to just say it like it is, but don't be an ignorant American. Like, come on, you're in a different country. They got their own set of rules, they got their own set of laws. And in fact, you came to their house. So be respectful when you go into somebody's house, somebody come into your house acting a fool, how you gonna act? Right? I mean, so don't go over there doing that. And we already got Americans already got a nasty reputation because this is how you act, Americans, not y'all individually, around the world. And y'all know how y'all white cousins can act. Like
Mhm.
they just get beside themselves. We were in I gotta tell that. I don't think I told this part of the story about my Cuba experience. No, this was Ethiopian experience, right? So we're in Lalabella, we're in those rock churches, those, those hollow churches down in the ground, like, the Ethiopia has a heavy religious population, right? And y'all know how I am about religion. I'm like let's keep it over there. But I try to be respectful. Let me say that I try to be respectful. So I'm in your country. I'm coming into your church. I don't care what your rules are. I'm gonna follow it, right? Like, and if I don't want to follow it, then I just don't go, right? Like, so. The women had to cover their heads. You had to have a scarf on. And we're of course educating our people, and they're like, okay, bring your scarf. You don't got a scarf, buy a scarf. Otherwise, you don't go in, right? And then certain areas in this place, they wanted you to take your shoes off, right? To take your shoes off, leave them outside, walk in. Man, they got them European white women over there. No, nothing on their head, walking through it. Got their shoes on, truffling through whatever the sacred space is. And it's just like, it's just the audacity for me that just drives me crazy. Cause like, if you disrespectful, right? If you go into somewhere else, why are you there? Why are you there? If you don't have enough decency to adhere to someone else's rule, then don't show up, right? Just don't show up. It just, I don't know, man. Like, and you just, y'all know how black folks are, right? So of course we walking through there, and everybody got that look of disgust on their face because it's like who would do something like that, right? Like in these places that are hundreds of years old, that are, it's just respect people's beliefs, religion, cultures, right? Or just don't go. Like I don't understand that. And I think a lot of the time sometimes we just got to let it go. Like, man, I don't understand, but I know, over there they allowed them to go in anyway because, we got to get the money and keep it going or whatever the reasoning is. Maybe, and you know what? And just being over there and starting to learn the spirit of the Ethiopian people, they're just probably far too polite of a people to make a big stink about it and to boot her out. But man, I wanted them to boot them out. I gotta say that to you. But I love that what the sister said. You are in another country. Your Congress, your rights and what you think don't mean nothing, right? Like this is their home, their country. You are a visitor. Be respectful. Colonizer mentality. It was disgusting. Y'all know, y'all really know me, but I was over there taking pictures of them. I got the pictures, right? Like, because I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, this is always just, yeah, right? Like, don't do nothing nasty around me. I'm gonna film it, right? Like, so anyway, P3, come on into the discussion, good brother. Where you at? Hey, before the brother comes on, this is why we say bring your notebook, right? So you can jot down your thoughts. Because then brother Freddie will run on a tangent and we in a different conversation. But come on there, good brother. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, the sister from Africa. I got,
Maria.
I got like a billion questions to ask her. Right. The most important right now is that um, for those. So I'm from Houston. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm from Harris County, Texas. And one of my uncles and a couple other my family members, um, they did a genetic. They did the whole genetic test thing, and it turns out that like even me, I'm supposed to be something like 80% Nigerian or something. So they were bringing slave ships into Galveston Harbor long after the Civil War was over with, long after the war between the states was over with.
Mm.
And uh, what I'm wondering, what I guess I'm what I guess I'm asking is the dual citizenship question. Could my family perhaps go through you or someone that you know to apply for our dual citizenship to Nigeria? What does that look like, if at all possible? So that's my question, and I'll just leave it at that because
Yeah, right now, as far as I know, Sierra Leone is the only African nation that's accepting DNA evidence as rights to dual citizenship, and they like waffling on that right now anyway. So I don't know how long that's going to stand, but I feel like there's one other nation. I didn't catch wind that it was Nigeria.
Ghana.
Somebody jumping in? Who was that?
It's Ghana.
No, they don't. No. You got it. There's different grounds for citizenship in Ghana. It's not DNA evidence. Like if you got a grandparent, if you got a parent or a grandparent, then you can get dual citizenship. Maybe I mentioned it before in Ghana that they all show no go. They have been. And then like the end of the year, they did that big rush of dual citizenship to all those people. But those people were, from what I heard, a lot of the people paid for it.
Yeah, the year of return. It was the year of return.
No. The year of return was 2019. They just returned. They was not given citizenship. Again, this has just been lip service. In my opinion, I don't know. This is just my opinion. But last year they gave like 500 dual citizenship out right before the outgoing president. There's a new president now, and they're pushing back on that. But it had nothing to do with DNA evidence. The only people that I knew that were getting Ghanaian citizenship were literally people from Ghana, right? Like either their parents were born in Ghana, their grandparents were born in Ghana. Those were the quote unquote Americans that were getting this dual citizenship. And I feel like Kenya has started to talk about that. To be honest, that the Kenyan DNA bloodline and in tie with slavery went east, right? So that's like an Eastern slave trade. That's that Arab conversation going, the Muslim conversation going that way. But I know, as far as I know right now, it's only Sierra Leone, at least in the West, that the DNA evidence gives you grounds and rights to citizenship for now, right? Like I said, it's still like it's like an issue. Ghana is already. Yeah, no, again,
Liberia.
again, and I think that's what the sister was alluding to, that these African nations, they got a lot of lip service, right? So they say a lot of things, but they're not doing it, right? So Ghana has been the year to return and the reconnection, and everybody has been hyped it up. And it was an excellent marketing tactic to get people talking about Ghana and going back to Ghana, but they're not backing that up with citizenship in numbers, again, until I think that was November of last year or November of October of last year. But I don't know. Like, and again, like it's May 2025, and you don't hear about no big pushes on citizenship happening in Ghana again. So I don't know. We gonna see. Brother Johnny, come on into the discussion.
Hey, so I just wanted to say, Friday I got my visa back from the consulate, Ghana consulate in New York for my trip that I'm going in July. But I also wanted to mention that, and I want to also say that I so appreciate the comments of everybody, because you guys are preparing me to behave correctly when I do go. So the information you're providing is valuable for me anyway. Appreciate that. But also there's this gentleman on YouTube, a Ghanaian brother, Wodi Maya, I think is his name.
Yeah,
well, oh, you know him. Okay.
Oh man, he a Pan-African treasure, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love watching him and the places that he goes to. You know, it just makes me want to go to even more places over there. Yeah. But I just so appreciate him. But there was one place that he went to in South Africa, within South Africa. I don't know if you saw that video, Orania.
Oh, Orania. He went to the white joint. Yeah.
I saw that.
I thought that was pretty crazy. Anyway, but yeah, I just I just wanted to share that that I'm going in July. And just so looking forward to it, man. And you guys are, every time I listen to you guys sit up and talk about that, you just fire me up even more. Man, I got 2 more months to wait. Man, I can't, I want to go now, And so like I said, I just appreciate you guys. And I just wanted to pop in there and say that. But I've been holding on because I got to go to the bathroom. I'm glad you let me in when you did. I got to go now.
Hey,
I'm 71, so when I got to go, I got to go.
Hey, I get it. I appreciate
All right,
that.
peace out. I'm out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad you brought that up though, because Ghana just recently changed their policies again on their visa applications, right? So prior to a couple of days ago, right? I don't know if there's like officially all the way in effect, you would have to wait like 3 months to get your Ghanaian visa. And you had, well, up to 3 months, I'll say that. And you had to mail off your passport, your physical passport. Well, they changed the process now, and it's a 5-day waiting process, processing time, but you still have to mail off your passport. So somehow they expedited things and really sped it up, which, listen, I don't know if y'all ever went to a place where you had to mail off your passport in order to get a visa to go there, but it is an anxiety-filled experience to part with your passport and all of this personal information for a long period of time. So the fact that they went to 5 days, kudos to them. And they did it because they're trying to make Ghana more attractive of a place to visit. But if anybody here is tied to the Ghanaian embassy or that culture, tell them, get the damn e-visa. What y'all doing? It's 2025. Why are we mailing off our passports
So
in
we
order
can't
to
just
come
go to the
and visit?
Ghanaian consulate near us and take care of this?
Can you go?
Yeah,
You're
because
in
we have,
Houston.
I'm in Houston. We have a Ghanaian consulate
Yeah,
here.
you can go down there.
Yeah, okay.
You can go down there. I think you're gonna have to leave your passport.
I'm fine with that. I know the people there. We good.
Yeah. You winning then, Doc. You
Yes,
winning.
no, I work with them because I teach world cultures, and when we have our international fair, they take stuff off their walls for us to put up at our fair, and I take it back to them. So
Oh, that's
okay,
beautiful.
that'll work. That'll work. Okay.
That's
You had
beautiful.
me scared because I don't like that. I don't like the idea of letting go of my passport.
Oh, one day I have to tell my story. The first time we went in 2017, it was an absolute nightmare. We made it, but it was a nightmare. Brother Ralph, come on into this discussion, good sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. That second country we were looking for is Liberia.
Liberia.
That allows dual citizenship. And that's up as of August the 13th of 2024.
Okay.
And I'm reading this on the Google.
Thank you.
But I thought it was Liberia because of the connection from the past with Margaret Scarby and so forth.
Right.
So that answers that question.
Yes, sir. Are you good? Or you was just chiming in to check that box for us?
Yeah, I was chiming in, but 2026, the year I'll turn 80. And that's the year that I visit Africa for 6 months to a year.
Wow.
I'm getting rid of everything and I'm going stepping.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Enjoy.
Where are you going?
East Coast to West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Starting in Ghana, working my way across the continent, over to Ethiopia, Tanzania, all of that. Yes.
Okay, now I have a question here. Are you going solo? Are you going with a group, or how you doing this?
Solo.
Okay. All right.
Come on, young man. Gonna turn 80 and gonna take on the continent, huh?
Hey,
would this be your first time?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to tease her.
Do you,
I don't want to tease her. I want to do the real deal.
Mr. Stevens, when are you leaving?
It's going to be the entire year.
Yeah, next year, right?
2026. So
You're gonna go.
I'm getting out of here in the winter of 2026.
Okay.
and keep moving forward. Or I should say, it'll be 2025 year, but I'm getting out, and I'm preparing things starting now. I've been
That's very
preparing. I've been
courageous.
following all of the bloggers and so forth, and
Okay.
it's time to do that continent.
I love it,
Going
brother.
home.
Let me drop the
Yeah.
again. I'm gonna put. I don't know if y'all. I'm with Dr. Anita. We old school. I'm an old school social media guys. I'm on Facebook, but if y'all check out Wode Maya, WODEMAYA, Wode Maya. He is they
Been
journalists. I don't know
following
what to
him for
call him,
4
but
years.
oh yeah,
I call him the ambassador.
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
the
yeah.
ambassador for the continent,
For the
and a
continent.
good one.
But what about the other?
Yes,
What
yeah.
about the other guy, the doctor guy that he's Pan African and is? You know what I'm talking
I'm
about?
not. Yeah, no, he is. Whoa, Maya is. He is a
No,
darker skinned
no,
guy,
there's a.
young
Woody
brother,
Maya, yeah.
No, I'm talking about
constantly
somebody
out
else.
there. He's just a good representation of. He's just showing you the African diaspora. I mean, he does Africa, the continent, but he also goes throughout the islands. He's in South, and Central America. I love this young brother. I just saw him in Burkina
Yeah.
Faso, touring around with
Yeah, I
Ibrahim
did too.
Traore. Yeah, they done gave him dual
Yeah, I did
citizenship
too.
there. Like, if you're
Yeah.
moving the culture, you got an opportunity to get dual citizenship. I can tell you that. And a lot of the people in Ghana that were getting the dual citizenship are individuals that are bringing people back to the continent as well. So, I mean, if you're a part of this heartbeat, a part of this movement, you got a chance. We ain't moved enough dust yet. I want it though. I want every citizenship I can get. I'll tell y'all that right now. I'm going for them all. Right, right.
You know, what I discovered through Woody Maya?
I'm sorry.
I said what I discovered following Woody Maya
Mm.
was that the island of Saint Kite, if you get citizenship with them, it's going to cost you a little money, a couple $100,000. You can get visa to travel to 150 something countries in the diaspora, where you don't have to go through the changes, because if you're one of their citizens, you're allowed to come into their country and do your thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That
I'm
is the
following
hidden.
up on that now.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's the hidden benefit, but that's the benefit of dual citizenship because other countries have different relationships than the United
Yeah.
States. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, I went to Cuba last year, right? I didn't get a visa because I used my Sierra Leone passport and we got visa-free
Exactly.
access into Cuba, right? So, like, you can skirt around these things with additional passports and whatnot, right? So that is like part of the benefit. Good point, brother. I'm glad you brought that up. And
You
then
know.
even building on that, um, some of these places, I know Colombia, I believe it's Panama as well, maybe even Costa Rica, but I know Colombia has a program that if you have it's either $1,000 or $2,000 in portfolio income, right? So that means you have an investment portfolio that's kicking off $1,000 in dividend. However it is that you're kicking off this revenue, you can become a citizen of the country because again, they want you to come. They just don't want you to lean on their system and oppress, their healthcare, whatever the case may be. They want to make sure that you got the funds, but that's all you need. So, Brother Ralph, I don't know. I ain't all in your money, your business, but there are opportunities to gain citizenship outside of just, breaking off the loot and paying for it, but having investment portfolio, investment income, excuse me, is another route to citizenship in other countries. And then, depending on those countries' relationships, right, you can backdoor your way in and around different places. So it's a large world out here, man, and a great one. I definitely want to continue to encourage y'all to explore it, to engage, to grow. Definitely follow my man Wole Maya. He's on my I want to meet the brother list. Like I want to meet the brother. I love his energy, his youthful enthusiasm and his love of the community and the people, man. And he's given us an opportunity to see the continent and places that everybody tells you is trash. Oh, ain't nothing but trash people there. You don't need to be there. Ain't nothing to see. And the good brother is going and sharing that information. And like when I'm sharing, my tours, I'm going through wherever we're at, right? Ethiopia, whatever the case may be. I was in I was in London. I was in London. We were in near Piccadilly Square. I don't know. It was like some night spot because I like the black folks. I want to go see black folks. I want to go into the community and I want to see things. But like this brother was security. He was working security and he grabbed me and pulled me to the side. And my man, I was there with my mentor, right? And my mentor was like, "Man, what you done did? The security guard grabbing you, right?" I was like, "Man, I don't know, but all right, I'm just trying to figure out how to add here, right? Like, okay, what do you need?" He was like, step over here." We went outside. And my man wanted to take pictures, man. He had seen my travels throughout the continent. He was from Cameroon. I think he was from Cameroon. And he was like, "Man, I just love that y'all be showing and putting the content out there as a wonderful place and be sharing it as a, showing the highlights, right? Just showing it in a better image that's been out there." So like it's just crazy to be doing something so I can't even imagine Walt Meyer, right? Because he is like, dude is like a star, y'all. I don't know if y'all know who this. Like, as soon as you Google him, you gonna read. He got like millions of followers, like all over the globe. So I know he probably get that. Ain't no problem. He gets that all the time. But it's like a beautiful thing to be recognized for loving on your people. International, just loving on your people. That's like, ain't nothing not loving because I got on a Gucci belt and whatever people be wearing. I don't, you can't. I always say you can't floss on me because I don't know nothing about none of that stuff anyway. But that ain't the reason. Like, being recognized for trying to tie the community together and link people in growth and love and understanding it's super dope, man. It's super dope. So, all right, let's see. Freddie Worldwide. Not yet. We getting there. We getting there, right? You just followed him good, Janelle. You gonna love his content. Um, he go into some places that you ain't. I don't know, man. I never even thought about Suriname. I ain't even really sure where it's at. But the brother, the brother was like, "Oh, I finally made it to Suriname." I had to Google it. I was like, "What is this place?" And he's just showing the food, the people, the culture, the entertainment, the history. It's like he's doing a little bit of everything, and I just appreciate his work. I really, really do. Brother Jarvis and Crystal. I don't know who is on there, but come on into the discussion.
There you go.
The gentleman had just mentioned one of the countries that it costs a couple of grand or $100,000 that you can use that one country. What was the country that he said?
Was that Kits? I didn't even know the country. I got to be honest with you.
No, he just mentioned you could go to one place and it will allow you to travel through several others, at least 50 others.
Yeah,
He said it would
150
cost
something.
about 100. Yeah, he said it would cost over 100 something grand, but what
You
was the
missed the
name of
country.
that? Yeah,
Ralph, wasn't that Ralph? That was Ralph talking, man. Or was that
I believe
St.
so.
Kitts? I feel like he said St. Kitts. But all of the countries, that you got a visa give you visa-free access to somewhere. So your American passport has, I forget how many countries that you can go visa-free through, at least for now. Trump is destroying all of these relationships, of course. At least for now. But even with Sierra Leone, there are, I believe, 64 countries that I have visa-free access through with that they all don't match up with the United States, right? Because it's just different things.
Yeah.
But I believe it was St. Kitts. We can get
Thank you.
anybody remember? Do
Yeah.
y'all remember what the
If
brothers
they
mentioned?
can, let us know because my father-in-law, German, is always amazing when it comes to traveling and wanting us to be more explorative. And definitely, we were asking you the questions about the catacombs in Egypt and whatnot. So it's definitely something that is on our 2025, 2026 list.
I love
But
it.
I definitely want to kind of avoid all of the craziness ahead of time before he blows up all the other countries or alienates us to where we get kidnapped just because we came from this country. So, like, hey, we just hate him so much, we just want to get rid of y'all. That kind of thing.
I tell you what, though, as traveling as an African American or Black American or whatever, however you want to classify yourself, um, when you go to places that like, feel that animosity against America because they doing that with you, they they be like, we know it ain't y'all. Right? Like that's usually the attitude that I've seen. They be like, they hear your accent, they be like, you from America? Be like, yeah, they be like, man, Trump. Then they be like, we know it ain't y'all. But really the question that you get is, how do you stay there? Like how do you live with like how? And this was I used to get this before Trump. This ain't like a Trump thing. This is like an American thing. They all wonder why the hell you still there. Like that's legit the question that you're going to get when you start to really travel internationally and like engage with folks because they're super curious and they just want to know. They don't understand. They're watching y'all be persecuted, murdered, shot, killed. I mean, you ain't got no weapons, no nothing. You laying down, face down. They shoot and kill you. Talk about they threaten, they get off. Like they watching all of this stuff. They don't just see the negative propaganda that comes out on who you are. They see that too now, number one. But they're watching you overtly be murdered and slaughtered, right? Like the stress, and they just be like, how do you live with that?
Do
And
you ever see those movies that where they always have the trilogies? It's like Parabellum 1, Parabellum 2. This is like America is like that horror story trilogy, like Jason and Halloween. It's kind of like that trilogy. That's why we've been trying to do things moving closer to our own homestead, our own sustainability, growing our own food, being off of the grid, so to speak. And even like right now, we're on a sleep out that we've been doing for the last 2 weeks to bring awareness to homeless youth. And it's just one of those things that where you don't want to be reliant on the water, you don't want to be reliant on the energy, you don't want to be reliant on the food. You want to be completely self-sustaining no matter where you are in this country or on the outskirts of it. So then that way it's kind of a little bit better for you.
How are you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought somebody else was jumping in. Yeah, no, that's man. Yeah, I don't know. And it's like the more you travel, the more you really gotta ask yourself, why am I still here? And I know it's like it's home, and it's the devil you know. That's what you really start to realize. It's the devil you know. We know how to operate in this chaos, right? And you're comfortable with it. So I'm not saying that you're making excuses for it or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that, there aren't some wonderful aspects to America. Listen, I like my bougie life. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and if you heard me talk about traveling, and even when I talk about moving, I'm not moving nowhere. The internet not stable. I don't care. I don't care. I love y'all to pieces. I've been, I should have never seen it. I love it. I gotta have it. And I know I can support myself and my family on the internet. So I gotta have it. So I'll never move. I might go visit a space and be out of touch for a little minute, but I'm probably gonna buy the little plan to give me this. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have it. It's a creature comfort. I'm a little bougie anyway. I don't know if y'all know me, but
But Freddie,
just a little. I'm like
where we,
bougie adjacent. Can you be bougie adjacent?
but Freddie, where we gonna go, and how we gonna get out of here? Like for when people say, "Why you still there?" I mean, some of us can't travel, too scared to travel, don't have the money to travel. It's like the opposite now. When I went to Africa, everybody was trying to come to America,
Yeah.
right? And they still are, right?
No, they are. They are trying to come to America, but they're trying to come to America because their country has been exploited for the last few centuries. And then there's no opportunities and chances for them to grow, develop, and build anything worth something because when they do, the Europeans come and take it. Right? So it's not like they're like trying to leave because it's just a terrible place. They're trying to leave because that terrible place has been created. And there's a great book. Y'all know I love reading, I love educating, but I just finished it. Walter Rodney's How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. And it gives you a great overview over really what's been done the last few centuries, all the way into the 1900s, the late 1900s, on what they've been doing to create that atmosphere, right? So it's not like this just is in a bubble and it's like everybody's got equal opportunities and they're like Africa's terrible. I'm going to the United States. No, the United States is exploiting the hell out of Africa, and they are like the only man. What was interesting about Rodney's book, Walter Rodney's book? Let me slow down. Um, was the only opportunities for education in on the continent was introduced only when it benefited Europe. They just needed you to learn something so that you could do something so that they could further exploit you. It wasn't like, oh, every human being has the right to education. Let's make sure that they're well educated. And then when they were educated in European history, right? That's what they taught. And if they didn't have the home structure in the base that said, no, we need to remember our history, our culture, and our ways of being, then they lost it because it got absorbed in the European educational system, kind of like us, right? Ain't nobody teaching you about your history and your culture and really connecting you with your roots. They are making sure that you want to assimilate into their lives and assimilate in a way that you're not going to be destructive of the system that they set up. So you're going to be a 13th Amendment and a good nigga, right? That's what they're looking for. So that's what's really being happening around the world. And then when you start to understand that we're not the only ones that's miseducated, I think that's the thing about travel. It opens your eyes to realizing that what they did in the United States is a microcosm of the macrocosm. They've been doing this and this ain't got nothing to do with just black folks, because you go into India, you go into Asia, you go into South America, you go anywhere that these people have been colonizing. That's a clean word too for murder, rape, kill, and destroy. You go to any of those places and you see it's the exact same thing. And they just been running the same exploitation game. So I don't blame Africans when they're trying to get to America. But then what you notice is they try to get to America so they can get what they got. And then they go back or they sending money back continuously so that they can help the next people come along, right? All of that is like really, really different. But how and what can we do? I mean, wealth. Let me back up, because somebody mentioned it that, if you travel, everybody think you wealthy, right? First of all, if you just traveling for visiting somewhere, you are wealthy. I just want you to know that. You might not feel it. You don't get it because you're looking at Bezos and people who make $4 or $5 million, and you're like, well, I ain't that. But somebody making $25 a month, and you just flew over here to hang out. If you gotta see that is wealth, that's beyond wealth. That's crazy wealth. Because while you just home in your house with them lights and that roof and that water and that food, like that is crazy wealth. You're like the top 5-10% of people on the planet, right? It's just because we got this internet and you're watching literal billionaires and you're feeling inferior, but you are wealthy. That's how these people look at you, right? It's the same thing, right? If so I'm trying to figure out, how do I say this? So imagine you make $1 million a year, and you're like, you probably think $1 million is a lot of money, right? But somebody makes 40 billion a year. Let me tell you something. The difference between 40 billion and $1 million a year and whatever you and I make is the same thing. like it's the same, it's $0, right? So to them, making $25 a month and you doing thousands, you rich. Like what? Wait, you mean your family eating? like what we talking about? It's just misplaced priorities. Anyway, but when it comes to like how can other people travel and have those opportunities, hey man, sometimes it just might not be in the cards for everyone. But everyone can start to lay a foundation for their next generation or those people around them, right? I don't believe wealth is generally made in one generation. I was just having a beautiful conversation with my brother, who is super impressive, y'all. I wish I could interview him on camera. He ain't coming on camera. He don't play with the internet. He don't play with none of that, right? But his lessons and stuff that he says is like really, really insightful. But he was talking about, his trust funds and setting up for the next generation and his goals and all of the stuff, Doc, that we be talking about, right? Like, and all of that. And he had my head spinning. He got like a really, really, really nice plan. But then he also said, yeah, but I need to put some stop gaps in place because it's some people I don't know if they're gonna just blow the money, right? So I'm like, I'm concerned because then it's like I feel like if they're gonna blow the money, I'm just gonna blow it. Like I ain't gonna give it to you to blow. Like if it's gonna be blown, I'm gonna do it. But my point is we got to start putting steps in place. And I was talking to my best friend the other day, and he was saying how he hasn't lived life. He hasn't had experiences, right? He's like hey, just he wouldn't mind, right? He was incarcerated for a minute. I know my man P3 be openly talking about it, and he feels like he's behind. So he feels like he's got this and that. And I'm like, look, man. I'm like, you got life insurance? He was like, yeah, I got life insurance because he's always saving. He's saving for the next man. My baby's gonna need. I want this for him. I'm like, if you got a healthy life insurance plan, like you got something to pass on to the next generation. Like go have an experience or two. Like now we ain't talking about a world cruise or nothing like that. I'm like, bro, let's go downtown and go see downtown Detroit, right? Like, but he been like hustling and saving every single nickel. You gotta have an experience. We only, as far as we know, we only go around one time around this world. So like go around and at least see a little bit about it. But we just gotta find a little bit more humility so that we can save a little bit more, so that we can go have an experience. Maybe it's not every year you go to Africa or go on that trip, right? Maybe it's once every 3 years. I don't know what the iteration needs to be, but we just gotta pinch our bellies a little bit. And I'm big on finding a way to add a revenue stream, right? Find a way to add it. You are talented and brilliant people. There's no reason you can't monetize your excellence or your understanding. Now, hey, Freddie, how that happen? Hey, now that's another conversation, right? But there's a way because if you can earn an extra, let me just get like a realistic number, $400 a month in 10 months, that's $4,000. Right? Like in a year, that's $4,800. Like you could do something, but you might not be able to do everything you want to do, but in 12 months, you could do something, right? Again, but the problem is most people make more money and they spend more money, right? Your income your expenditures rise to your income level. That's the American issue. That's the problem. That's the thing that gets it. I learned that in college, y'all. I heard that. I forgot the theory or whatever it is. It don't even matter. But the American expenditure rises to the income level. So now you make it $1 million a year. You still feel broke because you're spending 1.1. This is the American way. I don't care how much money you got coming in. If you spending more than you got, you broke. And at some point, the house of cards gonna fall down. And the only way to change that is to start spending less. And that starts with humility. That's why I love that point that book was making. All right, how y'all get me ranting and raving here at the end? Y'all know how to get me fired up, right? That's the trap. That is definitely the trap. Hey, I got something new. I'm gonna drop this before we get out of here. I'll open it up for any last thoughts. Hey, but we were like, people love Sunday dinner. I love Sunday dinner. We want to keep it like it is. So we open up a donations tab, right? How about that, right? So if you like Sunday dinner, drop $1, $2, $5, whatever. We definitely appreciate it, but so we can keep this space like it is, and we can continue to grow and invest in it. That's really what I want to do. I want to keep expanding this particular space. So we dropped donate to Sunday dinner, right? So if you like what we're talking about, and somebody was like, buy us a sweet tea or whatever. But I want to continue to grow and invest in this space. I got a lot of visions about what this space could be. I want to keep it virtual for the most part, and eventually we're going to end up doing some live in-person Sunday dinners, right? I think this would be great. Ooh, I had an interview with Dr. Javier Wallace. Was that Thursday, Friday? One of these days. And we're going to do some cooking with this brother down in Austin, Texas. I don't know if any of you are interested in going to Austin, Texas, but I think that we're going to end that weekend with a live Sunday dinner. So be on the lookout for that. Was the rent party successful? Mildred, the rent party was amazing. Yes. Um, we paid off what we was trying to pay off, right? We's free, y'all. We's free. That loan was absolutely killing us. Thank you. If y'all donated to the rent party, man, I genuinely, from the bottom of my soles of my feet, I appreciate you. That was choking the business like no, I can't even explain it. How terrible that was. But we out of that. We ain't going back. We ain't ever going back to that one. But this was great, man. So today was excellent. I have a clip that I would like to donate. Okay. Good brother, email. I don't know how you want to deliver it. I'm gonna say just email support@urbanintellectuals.com and ask for Tamiko. Support@urbanintellectuals.com and ask for Tamiko. Yeah, Tamiko will follow up if there's any, or at least just send a message, brother. How about that? We do it that way. However the case may be, Sister Tamiko will be in touch. Enjoyed every moment of this session. Yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed today. And man, I mean, what are we? It's crazy to say we only almost 3.5 hours. uh, but it's like a running joke, y'all. When you see 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody that's been here, we laugh at that because we've gone, I want to say like 5 or 6 hours before hanging out and having these discussions. But it's just fun, man. I really believe that this is therapy. This is therapy, right? This is our thing. Oh, I can play it before we close. I don't know if I got it set up where somebody else can share, brother. And the way my technology is and my technical understanding. What is the clip? Let me ask that, right? Maybe I don't want to see the clip, right? Like, how about that? I don't know. I don't like too many surprises, right? So how about that? What's the context for the clip? I
It's
think that'd be
audio.
good. This was wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Yeah, I think I can pull it up on the audio right quick. And I thought it was a salient point that this fella was making, and I'm looking for it right now. Make sure I can pull it up. But
Okay.
I always share it next week. You know what I'm saying? If I can't grab it because I got like a million things in here.
Oh, I totally understand that.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, I'm looking for it right now. Oh wait.
Oh,
okay, I can't find it. Go ahead. Thank you. But I'll grab it for next week.
Okay. Yeah. Did we come in with it? Oh, I'm glad you said that. Next week, y'all. Cool. Glad you said that, man. Next week, I'm traveling. And surprise, Freddie's traveling, right? I'm traveling and I'll be traveling on Sunday. So I was trying to figure out how to make it work on Sunday. It's not gonna work. So if y'all know, I don't like to miss this. This is my therapy too, right? So I love it. So we're gonna do it on Saturday. So we're gonna have Sunday dinner on Saturday. So make sure you take a look at your emails or whatnot. Maybe you can't make it. I apologize. I don't know what I was thinking to travel on a Sunday. I was trying to get on the first thing smoking, just everything just wasn't really working out. So we're just gonna make it on Saturday. A little bit different. We may have a different crowd, different people, but I think the energy and the enthusiasm will be the same. Hopefully, y'all can make it. I understand if you can't. Wold Maya, yeah, there you go.
It's just for this one Saturday, Freddie?
I'm sorry?
It's just for this one Saturday?
Yeah, just for this one Saturday. Just for this one Saturday. Yeah, I'm just literally not available. I was really trying to figure it out. I can't make it work for Sunday, so it'd just be this one Saturday. Same
So
time,
May
3 p.m.
31st,
I'm sorry?
May 31st.
May 31st. May 31st. It'll be just this one time on the Saturday. Janelle, you got a question, comment?
Yep, just a comment. So since we doing this whole Sunday dinner thing, and Sunday dinner is part of one of my favorite things, I got $10 on some peach pie. We're gonna call it the Sunday dessert plate. That's what I'm gonna say. My Sunday dessert plate donation. And I'm gonna take it back old school because you can't get a slice of pie nowhere for $10 now. Can't do it. But I'll take it back. Look, but I was trying to find the little you said the thing was on here. I don't see it. So let me see.
Oh, all right. Let me drop that again. I just dropped the Wold Myers link on Facebook. I'm assuming he's on all the platforms, y'all. So if y'all see it, you can just spell his name out on whatever your platform of choice. Here's my Sunday dinner donation for the peach cobbler.
Yes, for my peach cobbler. I got to have my peach cobbler. Look, I like banana split, but it's peach cobbler season, so we're gonna do the peach cobbler.
We love that. We love that.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna make me tell them to put a little space in there and be like, what's the dessert we buying? What's the
Yes,
what's the
yes. Look,
tip?
you should do that. Peach cobbler. Look,
Oh
I'm getting
man,
peach
it's too
cobbler.
late. I already put it in.
Okay. Maybe next time. I get them to update it. That'll be fun. I like that. But thank you for the peach cobbler. We definitely appreciate it. But yeah, so we're just trying to figure out, different ways to continue to pour into this space and continue to grow this space. I don't have no problem, donating, my time and energy here. I love it. And I want to keep it free, right? I don't want to make it a thing because I don't know if y'all noticed. Originally, I was building out this space for our members only. I wasn't gonna invite everybody to this space. But as it kind of grown and we got into those conversations, it's like, nah, we need to keep this open. And I'm always transparent with y'all and let you know, be reminded, like we having a good conversation, but you know, it's a big overhead to run this company, right? So we have to make sure that we're serving the organization so that we can pay our people and all that good stuff. But I love this space. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I think this is we're building something special, and I think as long as we can continue to come together, have honest conversations, disagree respectfully, and build and grow and educate and teach one another. I think we can continue to grow, not only grow, but build something special inside of ourselves and inside of our families, which is really what we are looking forward to. I forget what my topic is next week. Y'all will get the email. Hey, I want you to know I'm always open to topic selections. I got like a running list of stuff that I want to converse about, or I want to interject into the community. But if you're like, man, why don't Brother Freddie talk about this? Why don't we have this discussion, or whatever the case may be? Just shoot an email, right? What's the email? What did I just say? support@urbanintellectuals.com.
I'm going to
Info.
right now. I just
Say it again.
had it. Whatever.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Yeah. So just shoot that on over. We definitely appreciate it. I'm always looking for stuff to stay connected if I miss something. Uganda just found $31 trillion in gold or minerals or something in their soil. That's the point I was meaning to make all day about at least moving to the continent of Africa. Something like 9 out of the 15 fastest growing economies on the planet are on the continent of Africa. Africa has always been the jewel of the world. Nothing is changing. I know I talk to y'all often about the industrial revolution that's happening throughout the continent. Something like I don't know, you get depending on the estimates, 300 million to 600 million people are moving over the next 30 years are moving from poverty into the middle class. 30 million people made move from poverty to the middle class in America during the Industrial Revolution and made it a world power, something 10 times larger at the on the bottom end of the of the estimates is happening on the continent of Africa in a place that has all the world's resources, that has everything that it needs. All it needs is for folks to keep their hands off of it. So this is honestly another reason why I'm interested in connecting, because I want my lineage and my
Don't
people
forget I have food
to
on right now.
reconnect with the motherland and the home and to really tie into what is happening and to be a part of it, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I know they are going to be as well. My children are as well. And then the grands and all of that stuff. I caught the mute. So I want you, I don't want you and your family to be left behind. And this isn't about exploitation. This is about participation, right? This is about getting involved and not sitting on the sidelines and watching everybody else do their thing and say, damn, I should have been a part of that. Well, you got an opportunity. All we got to do is, don't be scared, right? Go visit. I think visiting is the start of all of this because you got to find a place that you enjoy and get your vibe right. And, you got to pass the vibe check and all of that. And I'm not saying move over there and just build a big old house or whatever the case may be. When I move, I'm going to rent, right? I don't plan on building. I plan on renting. Now, I may buy some apartment units or something like that that I can rent out at some point. But my first initial setup is I'm going to rent. I'm gonna go hang out because I move to Ghana, I rent, and what if I don't like it? I might not like it. I don't know. I'm assuming I'm gonna like it. I might not like it, but I want to get there so I can travel the rest of the continent and I can start to make better decisions about where I want to be, where I want to invest my money, where I see opportunity. But I'm going to invest. Yeah, I'm going to invest. The writing is on the walls on what is happening there, and the writing's on the walls on what's happening here, right? If you Google Ray Dalio, I wish I had this this video, Changing New World Order. I think that's what it's called. One second. His name is Ray Dalio. He's got a book called A Changing New World Order, but there's an interesting video on YouTube. Here it is right here. Watch this video when you get a chance. I'll put it inside of our social media. I think it gives a good glimpse of what is happening in the world. I think we got to wake up. It's important that we don't put our head in the sand and just assume that everybody else has our best interests at heart. You got to make sure that you tap in and make those decisions, whether that's moving out of the country, staying in the country, or whatever the case may be. Let's be aware of the changing global economics that is happening right in front of us. And, this AI situation is really speeding things up. Let's just say that. So I'll leave it there for tonight. For today, such a beautiful event on Sundays. I love it that y'all enjoy these. Tamiko is expensive but worth it. Dessert paid for. Thank you, Janelle. I definitely appreciate it. I can afford a whole plate. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. We're gonna have some fun with that. Thank you, y'all, for being here today. Hopefully, you enjoyed the discussions that we had here today. Thank you, everybody that participated. Thank you, everybody that listened in. This has been another filling Sunday dinner, right? Grandma is pleased, but she did whisper to me that you ain't gotta go home. You gotta get up out of here. I appreciate y'all today. Hope I'll see y'all I'll see y'all Saturday. Right, Saturday. That's gonna be tough to do Sunday dinner on Saturday, but it'll be our first one. Thank you everybody for being here for the first time, and definitely I appreciate my regulars that come back and enjoy the plates and even y'all that stay to the end and help me clean up, right?
Hey, Freddie.
Thank you for the
Hey,
traveling
Freddie.
grace. I definitely
Freddie.
appreciate that. Until Saturday, unless you get down with us on one of our other events during the week. I appreciate y'all being
Yeah.
here. Love,
Freddie.
peace, and
Freddie.
power to the people.
I had a track, and I think it's germane to the importance of these kinds of groups, and that's why I wanted to share it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, bro, I got to run real quick. Just shoot it to the team. Let me check it out.
Yup.
Yeah. I got to run, brother. Grandma got me working. Actually, Daddy got me working right. He didn't text me over here, so I got to go handle my man. 95 calling, man. We got the higher calling for me.
Yep.
So, but I appreciate y'all. But let's check it out, man. Just shoot it to the team. Let's check it out. We'll follow up. But thank y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. Be on the lookout for the email to check out the next conversation. But it's gonna be Saturday, May 31st. We're gonna have our Sunday dinner on Saturday. Peace and blessings, everybody. I will tell 95 hello. Thank you.